miles an hour and some hail, and it is going to be here in Memphis within the next little bit. We've been dealing with this line of thunderstorms back in Arkansas for the last little bit now, and so far we have not had any tornado warnings in our area, but this environment is still very conducive for storms to produce tornadoes. So we want to keep an eye on that, but I do just want to let you know that right now we do not have any tornado warnings that are in effect. Let's zoom in here. We'll kind of go down the line and we will show you what's going on. I want to start out up to the north in Mississippi County, Arkansas. Very heavy rain pretty much all throughout Mississippi County, from Blytheville all the way down I-55. I would not be driving right now on I-55 north of Memphis because the rain and wind is just going to be too bad. I've been watching this little area, that little circle there that you see. That is an area of rotation that could try to spin up a tornado eventually. Right now, no warning on that. But if you're in Osceola, eastern Mississippi County near the river, keep an eye on this one. We'll watch that one pretty closely. Want to move on down here to the metro because this is the reason we're on air with you. Again, this is a severe thunderstorm warning. It is going to go for Crittenden, Cross, Lee, St. Francis, DeSoto, and Shelby counties until 7:45. You can kind of see that yellow outline there, and it's because of this line of thunderstorms. And folks, it is nasty line of storms, lots of lightning, damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour, and hail. Again, it does not take a tornado to cause damage. I was telling you that this morning, and Danielle hit on it as well, that wind damage can cause just as many issues as a tornado. So this line that you see here coming through Crittenden County, West Memphis in the next little bit, and eventually into the metro, that is what we're going to be watching. That is going to be producing some very, very strong winds. I'm going to put a storm track on this and give you an idea of the direction that this is headed. Let me get these arrows off the screen just so we can kind of clear it up just a little bit. And I do want to let you know, what was that, Danielle? Okay, yeah, let's go over to Danielle. She's got that track built. That'll help me from having to draw it over here.
Yeah.
But yeah, good job timing it out there as it comes into downtown.
Yes, and let me move this out of the way for us as well so we can all see a little bit better. That's Horseshoe Lake at 7:14 p.m., West Memphis, Arkansas at 7:15 p.m., the casinos at 7:15 p.m. as well, Southland Park at 7:16, as well as Shelby Forest, Robbinsville at 7:17, North Haven at 7:19, Lake Cormorant at 7:21, Walls at 7:23, and Fraser at 7:25 p.m. So this is definitely a very strong system. We've been tracking it for quite some time now. We've had our eye on it pretty much all week long. High winds definitely a main concern here. We have been seeing a few rotation, and that's when our winds really get high. We can really start to see some rotation in these storms, which unfortunately could be causing a little bit of damage. We've also been seeing some hail with these storms as well. I'll put a little hail path on there. This is with that same system, as you can see, that purple on your screen right there that's moving through Forest City. Definitely some possible hail has been involved. Some of these severe thunderstorm warnings said hail upwards of an inch of hail size. So that is definitely some damaging hail in that area. So you definitely want to make sure that you're being very weather aware. Make sure that everyone is inside at this time because it is storming in some places. Some of us are still dry right now here around the Mid-South. But I'm going to put another track on it for you. Horseshoe Lake once again at 7:14 p.m., West Memphis at 7:15, as well as the casinos, Southland Park at 7:16, as well as Shelby Forest at 7:16, Robbinsville at 7:17, and North Haven at 7:19, and Lake Cormorant at 7:21, and Walls at 7:23, and Fraser at 7:25. So you definitely want to make sure that you are, being very weather aware with this storm. As Trevor was saying, the winds have been really high with this storm as well, and that was one of our main concerns. I know Trevor and I were talking a little bit earlier, and you just never know with these storms. So it's always best to kind of keep your head on a swivel as far as weather is concerned. If you're in the Metro Memphis area right now, hey, charge your phones because we all know what could happen if the winds get too high. You want to make sure that, you have your phones charged. You have multiple ways of getting notifications as well. Once again, this is a severe thunderstorm warning for Shelby County. It's not a tornado warning. Trevor, what do you have over there that you're taking a look at?
Danielle, I was just going to show, we've got the app promo up for folks that I know anytime we have storms that come through, we're going to have power outages. And Danielle brought up a great point. If you are going to be out and about tonight, maybe you are watching us from a restaurant or a bar down on Beale Street with that Grizzlies game going on, download that ABC 24 app. It's free for iPhone and Android. We'll send an alert straight to your phone just like we did a few moments ago, if a threatening storm is headed your way. Danielle, I went ahead and zoomed in just a little bit more. I wanted to get kind of tighter in here just to kind of show the progress. And I believe we have some cameras out here along Interstate 40. Julie, whenever you want to pop those up behind me, you can, or you can take them full screen out near Jeanette, Arkansas, and pretty much right in the middle of those storms as they're moving to the east. So again, I would not be traveling right now in eastern Arkansas because this storm is going to come on quickly. It's going to hit you quickly. You're going to get a big gust of wind, some heavy rain, and again, a ton of lightning. Just a lightning show in the sky. I'm even seeing some flashes of lightning from our cameras in Memphis as this line of storms approaches. Again, here's downtown, and this is not too far away from downtown Memphis as this line of storms approaches the Mississippi River. So I would say another 30 minutes maybe this thing is going to be crossing over the Mississippi River into downtown Memphis. Let's take a look at some of those cameras. You got Julie back there, our producer Julie, working on that. This is a view from eastern Arkansas. Man, there's that lightning we were just talking about. This is in Jeanette along Interstate 40. My goodness, what a large amount of lightning. And I want to tell you this, folks, you're seeing our friends over on the left coming toward the camera. They've got their blinkers on. And I know you think you're doing a good thing. You want to stay safe. You're helping people see you a little better. You cannot drive legally. You cannot drive with your blinkers on unless there is a hazard. That's meant for if you're pulled over, if you're stopped on the side of the road. If it's raining so hard that you feel like your blinkers have to be on, you shouldn't be driving. Folks, this line of storms isn't going to be all night. Give it an hour and it will go. I would so much rather you pull over, stop, let it pass you by, and then continue your trip. I just really don't want you driving around in this. If you're in Metro Memphis, you need to get to where you're going and stay put. Again, right now, no tornado warnings. I don't want to freak you out too much, but these damaging winds, this heavy rain, and even the hail, it is going to cause some issues.
I put a new track on there, Trevor, if you want to.
Yeah, let's take it. Because we want to time it out minute by minute because this is really getting into those more populated areas toward downtown. You got it right there, downtown 723.
Exactly. Southland Park right now, Shelby Forest right now as well. North Haven, 7:19 p.m. Fraser at 7:22 p.m. Once again, like Trevor just said, this is a severe thunderstorm warning. So we're not looking at a tornado, but this storm could be very, very strong at times. So if I'm calling out your town right now, just go ahead and get into your safe place in case those winds are high. You want to make sure that you are away from those windows at this time and make sure that you have your phone at least already charged up. So I'll start again. Southland Park right now and Shelby Forest as well right now. North Haven 7:19 p.m. Fraser at 7:22 p.m. Horseshoe Lake at 7:23 p.m. Downtown.
Danielle, I hate to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
I want to go back to Mississippi County. Our radar is picking up tornado debris with this storm. We've got a tornado that has just touched down. Tornado warning has just been issued. Folks, let's get on CW30 now. We're going to interrupt their programming as well. We have a tornado that has likely just touched down. Osceola, you have got to be in your tornado safe place right now. You have moments to be in your safe place. This is where you're seeing those rotation signatures right there. That spinning circle, that is likely a tornado that has just touched down in Mississippi County, Arkansas. Let's talk about those tornado safe places because, again, Osceola, that is our main area of concern. If you are in Osceola right now, I need you to do this. I need you to go into your tornado safe place. That's going to be on the first floor of your home in the middle portion and stay away from windows. So you want to put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. So really that bathroom, interior room, that is the best place to be in a situation like this. Again, a tornado likely close to touching down or has just touched down near Osceola. Let's get out of this and I'm going to zoom back in here and kind of give you a better view. That spinning circle that you see indicated there, that is our area of rotation that the radar's picking up on just to the south of Osceola. And I'm actually going to step off here and I'm going to get it off the screen because at this point we don't need to know that there's rotation. We know that it's there. I want you to just be able to kind of see the streets a little better. And you can zoom in here and this is coming up on Country Club Road, State Route 140, State Route 119. This is all very, very close to the city of Osceola. So again, Osceola, you've got just a couple of moments. I really need you in your tornado safe place if you're in Osceola and Mississippi County, Arkansas.
Here, I'll read the bulletin for you.
Yeah,
while
please
you
do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to show the rotation.
So this is a brand new tornado warning for Mississippi County, Arkansas, as well as Lauderdale, Tennessee until 8 p.m. tonight. This is for a severe thunderstorm that is capable of producing a tornado. It was located over Osceola and it's moving northeast at 45 miles an hour. You can see what Trevor is circling there on your screen right now. It is moving northeast, so it's definitely moving that way. You can see
crossing the river pretty much right now.
Right, exactly. So this will bust some myths here very shortly there, Trevor. If you want to talk a little bit about what you're seeing on the rotation detector.
Yeah, I just want to put a storm track on this because this also includes Lauderdale County, Tennessee. I don't want to forget about those folks out in western Lauderdale County. If you're west of Highway 51, you're under this tornado warning as well in Lauderdale County. So Danielle just told you this thing moving off to the north and east at about 45 miles an hour. I'm going to start that over so I can get just a little bit of a better, a little more accurate storm track. There we go. So that's going to be in Osceola pretty much right now. That's why I'm saying if you're in Osceola, I really need you in your tornado safe place. Gates by about 8:05. We're getting out here into northeastern Lauderdale County now. Those areas not technically under a tornado warning right now, but I'm giving you an early heads up. If this thing holds together, Dyersburg, 8:15, that is the time frame that this storm is going to be near you. So again, if you're just joining us, I want to reset quickly and just kind of give you an idea of why we're here, why we're interrupting your programming, why we're live streaming. We've got this line of severe thunderstorms rolling through the Mid-South. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning for Memphis. Not a tornado warning for Memphis, a severe thunderstorm warning for winds of 60 miles an hour, likely going to take out some power. Charge your cell phones if you're in Memphis and DeSoto County. I'm really going to focus on that tornado warning. We've got one tornado warning right now for Mississippi County, Arkansas, and Lauderdale County, Tennessee. That's going to go into effect until 8 p.m. So we're going to be with you at least until then. And when I'm talking about this tornado warning, I don't want you to think I'm forgetting you in Memphis or in other areas. It's just right now, that is the biggest area of concern that we are continuing to watch. It looked like we could have had a brief spin-up tornado near Osceola. You see that hook there. A lot of you amateur weather nerds might know about that. I know I did even before I went to school for this stuff. You know that hook, that little hook echo as we call it, that is a very, very good indication that something has spun up and could have touched down briefly. If not, it's still being on the ground. So Osceola, Arkansas, if there is a tornado, it's over you now. I really, really need you to be in your safe place, at least for the next 10 minutes. We've got emergency managers up there that are headed that way to check things out. But again, that inflow notch rotation area, very good signs of rotation here. And again, rotation leading to a possible tornado touchdown. And I'm going to check our debris mode.
Yeah.
This is what kind of alarmed me. There it is right there. We have some sort of debris signature showing up right on the Mississippi River. And when I stepped off screen a couple of minutes ago, our radar was picking it up. It can give us a circle when it detects debris, and that's what it was doing. And so that's why I kind of jumped in over Danielle to give you that update. Some signature that something has been picked up there. Hopefully not anything, hopefully it was out in the fields, out in the trees, things like that. It looks like it might have gone just between Osceola and Wilson, maybe south of Kaiser along 55. So, of course, we're going to keep you updated on this as this storm continues to cross the river. But pretty much now, that area of rotation is crossing the Mississippi River right now into Lauderdale County, Tennessee. So really, Lauderdale County now, I need you in your tornado safe place. That tornado warning going to go until 8 p.m. Let me get you back to those tornado safety tips. If you're just joining us, I know you've got phones going off, sirens probably sounding now. If you're in this tornado warning, here's what you need to do. I want you to go to the basement or the smallest center room on the lowest floor of your building. A lot of folks don't have basements around here because of the water table, but go to the lowest floor that you have and go to the most center room that you can. Stay away from windows and cover yourself. If you can, if you've got kids, bicycle helmets, motorcycle helmets, a pot or a pan. Not a bad idea to put on their heads as a worst case scenario. I know it sounds kind of silly, but most damages happen from your head. So if you can cover your head, that is a great thing to do. Again, that tornado warning for Mississippi County, Arkansas, and Lauderdale County, Tennessee. But Danielle, we're also tracking nasty weather coming into Memphis, not a tornado, but really strong winds.
We talked about dividing and conquering now. I think this is a great time to divide and conquer. So while you watch out for that tornado warning, I will focus a little bit on what's happening here in Shelby County in the metro Memphis area. Trevor has had his eye on that tornado warning, so he's going to go and give you a little bit more information about what's happening up there near Osceola right now. But let's talk about the severe thunderstorm warning in the metro Memphis area. Still a lot of people in that. High winds are anticipated. I got a new track on it for you as this storm continues to push northeast, North Haven at 725. You want to make sure that you're in your safe place for a severe thunderstorm warning in Shelby County. Horseshoe Lake at 7:27 p.m. Fraser at 7:30 p.m. Downtown 7:30 p.m. as well. The Medical District at 7:31. Crosstown at 7:32 p.m. Walls at 7:33. There's multiple places at 7:33 p.m., so I'm going to just call them out. Walls, Graceland, Overton Park, and Midtown. If you're in those areas, that's when this storm is expected to arrive on your doorstep. You definitely want to make sure that you're being very weather aware. Heavy rainfall is falling right now here in the Bartlett area, and I'm sure wherever you are, especially if you are in this severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued for Shelby County, you are hearing that heavy rainfall outside. They did just extend it until 7:45. So this is for Crittenden, St. Francis, DeSoto County, and Shelby County until 7:45. Right now, winds are moving around 60 miles an hour. I know I was telling you earlier, make sure you have anything secured outside because those winds are going to be gusting very, very fast. And here is a prime example, another reason why they issued this severe thunderstorm warning. So a lot happening right now in the Mid-South. We knew that this is probably going to be a very busy evening weather-wise, and the storm has finally arrived here in the metro Memphis area and all across the Mid-South. So even if you're not in some of these warnings, I'm going to zoom out just a little bit because it's not just in the Memphis area. As we reset just a little bit and take a look at our DMA, there is also a tornado warning that's been hanging out really very close to Clarksdale, Mississippi as well. I'll zoom out just a little bit there on your screen. You can see this little red square right there on your screen. That tornado warning has been going for quite some time. So you definitely want to make sure you're weather aware no matter where you are in the Mid-South because these storms are coming in and they're coming in very strong as well. There's multiple flood advisories as well. So just make sure that you're being very weather aware. I know there's some RDOT cams in mile market 265, and that's near Jeanette, Arkansas. Here's a look at that live outside. It is really coming down out there, folks. A lot of heavy rainfall, and I know those winds are very high as well. You can barely see, like Trevor was saying, driving with your blinkers on here in the Mid-South, whether it's Arkansas or Tennessee, illegal. You need to just pull over to the side of the road. So if you know anyone who's on those roadways right now, make sure that they are pulled over to the side if they cannot see because it's raining really hard now. I know that they probably cannot. Also, I-55 exchange at Gilmore. This is Dash. This is another RDOT camera here. So definitely make sure that you are being very weather aware. In fact, those roads almost look flooded.
They do, right
Trevor,
at that exit.
Yeah, that looks very flooded out there. And we have dash cam as well heading downtown, which is very important because there is a severe thunderstorm warning for the metro Memphis area. You can see the lightning strikes. This is here in downtown, the metro Memphis area. I'm going to toss things over to Trevor because he is looking at this tornado warning that is moving near Osceola.
Yeah, and what you're looking at on the dash cam, though, and what we can do, maybe if we can keep me here and keep that dash cam over there. Danielle, sorry, I'll pop you away for a second so you can check some stuff. I just want to keep an eye on that camera because those storms are going to be in the river here in just a little bit. So our director's in the back. We've got Sandy and James. They're working hard. They got it up. What you're looking at there, that's downtown Memphis on the riverfront. That is right there on the bluff. That looks like maybe Tennessee Street going down toward the brewery. Our photographer, Ian, not holding the camera. Let me add that in. He's got it on his dash cam. He's just driving around. We'll keep an eye on that for you here in just a little bit. Let's take me full screen, and as soon as something interesting happens on that camera, we'll go back to that. But I wanted to put a storm track on that tornado warning that we had for Mississippi County, Arkansas, and Lauderdale County, Tennessee until 8 p.m. We had a very strong sign of rotation over Osceola. Osceola, the worst is past you now, but I want to put a storm track on for some of those smaller communities that are now in the path of this storm. Gold Dust, you're up next. That's in Lauderdale County, Tennessee, 7:31. Ashport, 7:37. O'Donnell's Bend on the river at 7:39. Lower Fort Deer Landing at 7:40. Olive Branch. Let me not confuse you. That is not our Olive Branch in the metro. If you're in Olive Branch, Mississippi, this is not for you. This is Olive Branch, a little community out there in Lauderdale County, Tennessee. And then eventually, if this storm holds together, it's going to be in southern Dyer County. You see Dyersburg on our map. So the indication of rotation is not as strong as it was moments ago, but still a very powerful storm nonetheless. In fact, what we can do, we can go back over to our shear mode, which shows the twisting of the winds. Obviously, to produce a tornado, you need the winds to be twisting. And you can see there is some there, but notice that green is showing up in the weak category, maybe a little closer to strong. But a few moments ago, we were getting almost extreme rotation over Osceola. So a promising sign that maybe this is not as strong as it was producing a tornado moments ago, but I still want you in your tornado safe place if you're in Lauderdale County and you live west of Highway 51. Again, that tornado warning technically goes until 8 p.m. We're going to see if they cancel it a little early, though. Hopefully, we can give you the all clear on that. Let's go back to radar. I want to zoom back down to the metro because we are really starting to see that line of storms that you see there. In fact, I'll even draw it out for you. That is that main line that is coming through. That's where you're going to get your damaging wind gusts and you're going to get your heavy rain. That leading edge, as we call it, that front line of the storms, it's pretty much on the river. It's coming through Shelby Forest right now, eastern Tipton, or western Tipton County, I should say. But if you are in downtown Memphis, I know a lot of folks might have us on restaurants, bars. March Madness is on another channel, so maybe not tonight. But if you are watching us from downtown Memphis, hang out where you are for the next little bit. I know you like to walk around down there and bar hop and do all that stuff on Overton Square. I'd probably be doing the same if I were not here right now, so I don't blame you. But please find a sturdy place to get into. Let this storm pass by. Give me an hour, and then you can go back to your regular duties. We've also got a Grizzlies game that is happening right now at FedEx Forum. So they're going to have to deal with that torrential rain, damaging wind gusts, and potential power outages. This is your final heads up to charge your cell phone. If you're in Shelby County, DeSoto County, this is not a tornado warning for you, but a severe thunderstorm warning with winds of up to 60 miles an hour that can easily take down a power line. It can easily take down trees. In fact, National Weather Service just saying from their alternate radar site down that they have in DeSoto County, that white ball on I-55 in Nesbitt, that radar is measuring the winds. 60-mile-an-hour winds coming into DeSoto County right now and crossing the river into downtown Memphis. In fact, I'll actually pick out some of the storm winds here. Basically, what you're looking at here, brighter the color, the stronger the winds. You can see we've got very strong winds. In fact, I would argue the strongest of the winds right now in northern Tunica County and even into DeSoto County, of course, coming into Memphis as well. We can poke around a little bit in here, and the radar will actually tell us how strong those winds are. There you have 57 miles an hour, 58 miles an hour, 47. We'll put it over Fraser, 48 miles an hour, toward Millington, almost 60 miles an hour. Easily can cause damage and cause power outages. So even though we do not have a tornado warning right now in Memphis, the winds are going to be something else. And Danielle, I know you've got the storm track for the latest arrival of those strongest winds as they move into the metro.
Yep, and they just continued that severe thunderstorm warning, and they also continued the tornado warning that we were talking about in Mississippi County, Arkansas, as well as Lauderdale, Tennessee. I'll read you the new bulletin for that. It's still the same severe thunderstorm warning, but it's capable of producing a tornado located over Ashport near Luxura, moving northeast at 45 miles an hour. So I haven't tracked up already for the Metro Memphis severe thunderstorm warning, so I'll call out those towns first, and then I will get over to the storm that is moving through Mississippi County, Arkansas, as well as Lauderdale County. So Walls at 7:33 p.m., Burleson at 7:34 p.m., Garland as well at 7:34 p.m., North Haven at 7:34, Lynchburg at 7:35 p.m., downtown at 7:36, the Medical District at 7:37, Crosstown at 7:37, and Fraser at 7:37. Now, this encompasses a lot of people here in the Metro Memphis area, and like Trevor just said, they are looking at 60-mile-an-hour winds. That's definitely damaging wind gusts all across the Mid-South right now, especially in our large portion of viewing area where most of our viewers are located in downtown Memphis. So you definitely want to make sure that you're being very weather aware in that area. I'm going to put another track on the tornado warning that is also moving through Mississippi County, Arkansas, as well as Lauderdale County. It's a lot going on, folks. I know I'm trying to clean some stuff off the screen so it's a little bit clearer for you all to see as well. Now, these storms are pretty much moving northeast. That's the one thing that we have been seeing, and they're moving very, very fast. So you definitely want to make sure that you are paying close attention because these things are moving very fast. Here's an updated track for the tornado warning that is in effect until 8 p.m. tonight. This is for Gates at 8 p.m., Halls at 8 p.m., Dyersburg at 8:02, New Bern at 8:12, Friendship at 8:13 p.m., Yorkville at 8:22, Rutherford at 8:32, and Dyer as well at 8:32. Now, sometimes, these storms, we read all of these towns out. That doesn't mean that you're going to see that exact storm. However, the winds will be high in that area that you are located in. You definitely expect high winds, possibly some hail as well. We've been watching this storm kind of develop over the last 15, 20 minutes. I'm going to put a hail path on there for you to see. And you can see that purple on your screen right here, right near Osceola. This is where the first tornado warning was issued. You can see some possible hail in that area. And the storm is continuing to push northeast. So Dyersburg, definitely go ahead and get ready for some possible hail as well. And if we take a look at the sheer path, how much rotation has been going on? It's been a lot. It literally has been moving through Truman as well as Mark Tree, still continuing to push off to the northeast. And this is the same storm that has that severe thunderstorm warning in the metro Memphis area as well. Trevor, you have something over there as well?
Yeah, let's take traffic if we can. If y'all can punch up traffic, I would like to take a look at the camera that we have on the I-40 bridge. And that's just going to be the traffic computer if we have that. Or if we can take that camera. Yeah, this works. This is the dash cam from FedEx Forum, our photographer Ian driving around. And let's just set on this. Look at this wind. My goodness. I mean, this is easily 30, 40 mile an hour wind right now in downtown Memphis. And if we can get traffic punched up, I'd like to take that camera at some point, or if we can pull up that I-40 Riverside cam on the traffic on the TDOT source, either one, that would be great. But again, you're looking at the damaging wind gusts, the heavy rain. It's going to be hard to drive around in, no doubt about it. As you're looking at that picture from FedEx Forum, that is not something you want to be outside in. And that's what we were saying through the day is even if you're not personally impacted by severe thunderstorms, it is still going to be nasty as that line rolls on through. So again, that's coming pretty much right now into downtown Memphis. So if you are in the city of Memphis, I really need you to get where you're going in the next minute or two, and I really need you to stay put. Again, if you're just joining us, meteorologist Trevor Burchett alongside meteorologist Danielle Moss. She's keeping an eye on things as well. I do want to let you know that we do not have a tornado warning that is in effect for Memphis or Shelby County. The only tornado warning we have is up near Osceola. We'll get to that in just a little bit, but we do have a severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect for Memphis and Shelby County, also for DeSoto County and Crittenden County until 7:45, I believe. And that is a very strong line of storms coming in. So downtown Memphis seeing those very, very strong winds. And again, I would really like to get that I-40 at Riverside TDOT camera if we can get it, if we can get that pulled up. It's got a wild view right now. And this is, I believe, what we would normally see on this camera would be downtown Memphis. I think what you're looking at the bottom is the way station, and you would normally be able to see the skyline. This is the camera I wanted to show you. So this is the bridge, the I-40M bridge, and it's gonna go in and out a little bit because it's kind of jumpy. You're looking at the wind kind of move things around, but you can kind of see the bridge lights in the distance. I know it's hard to see, but that's kind of where we're looking. We're looking across the river, across the M bridge. And again, you're seeing folks driving with their blinkers on, and you don't want to be doing that. Again, if it's raining so hard that you cannot see, hazard lights are not going to help you. You need to pull over and stop. I really would like for you to be safe and just wait 30 to 45 minutes and let this storm pass before you get going again. But just a crazy scene. And normally we show this in the morning to show you the sunrise. It's a beautiful shot. You have the bridge in the background. You just cannot see it. And it almost looks like people are coming to a stop on the bridge. I know this camera is going in and out, this TDOT camera. This doesn't belong to us, so unfortunately we can't really control that. But it looks like people are just down to a crawl, and that's why we've been talking about this for the last week. We've been saying, make indoor plans. You don't want to be out and about at this time, 7:30 to 8. That's what we said for the last couple of days, that was going to be coming into downtown Memphis. Do we have the dash cam again near FedEx Forum? If we have that, I'd love to take that because they should really be getting in on the worst of it now. And this is going to be South 2nd at MLK. I pretty much live right here, not to give too much away, but I take this route every single day, so I know where we are. And you could see just the torrential rain, damaging wind gusts. You're seeing wind gusts in that shot of probably 40 to 50 miles an hour. Power still on. Thank goodness in downtown Memphis, they've got those underground power lines, but that's not the case in much of the town. Right now, we're at Main and MLK, the MLGW parking garage right there on your right. So we're going to keep a close eye on that here over the next little bit. But of course, we're also watching that tornado warning that we have up near Osceola. That is still causing some rotation, and Danielle's got an update on that.
Yes, I do. So we've been watching both of these storms very closely. Trevor and I decided about maybe 10 minutes before we went on that we're going to divide and conquer here. So we've kind of switched gears here and there. So this is the tornado warning that is in effect until 8 p.m. for Mississippi County as well as Lauderdale County. You can see there is rotation here. And we did pick up earlier a little bit that there was some possible debris flying in that area. So you definitely want to make sure you're in your safe place at this time if you're in that area, if you know someone in that area. So I'm going to call out some more towns for you for the tornado warning. Once again, for Mississippi County as well as Lauderdale County. So Ripley at 7:52 p.m., Dyersburg at 7:57 p.m. I know this seems a little bit far out because it is only 7:39 right now, but the storm is moving very fast. So if I'm calling your town, you definitely want to go ahead and make preparations, go where you need to go, get your family in their safe place at this time. Dyersburg at 7:57 p.m., Gates at 7:58 p.m., Halls at 7:58 p.m., New Bern at 8:07 p.m., Friendship at 8:11, Yorkville at 8:19, Rutherford at 8:30, and Dyer at 8:30 as well. So this is for the tornado warning that is in effect until 8 p.m. The winds are moving around 45 miles an hour, and this severe thunderstorm warning has been in effect for quite some time. We've definitely been seeing some possible rotation. You can see this little turning mark on your screen here. This shows that there's still rotation in that storm right now, and I've been keeping my eye on it right now. It looks like it's trying to calm down just a little bit, but unfortunately, that does not mean that you're in the clear just yet, because they probably might go ahead and advance that towards the next few counties as well, to just kind of be proactive as far as making sure that everyone is safe at home, as this thunderstorm is very, very strong right now. We've been seeing high winds involved with this storm. We've been definitely seeing some heavy rainfall. There's been a few places that have flood advisories. There's about to come out for one for DeSoto as well as Shelby County, because the rainfall is falling so fast right now. We're anticipating getting 1 to 2 inches of rain with this storm system in a very short amount of time. We are anticipating this whole entire system to be completely completed by at least midnight. So that's how fast this all is happening, very, very quickly. So you want to make sure that you are being very weather aware, like Trevor has been saying, and I've been saying as well. Charge your phones now if you still have power, because you don't want to lose power and lose that way to communicate as well. And just want to make sure that you're being proactive. There's a lot of things happening all across the Mid-South. The good news is they're going to allow the severe thunderstorm warning to expire for Shelby and DeSoto County in about 5 minutes. So that's great news there. That shows that things are getting a little bit better. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit for where this tornado warning is, clear some stuff off the screen here, and maybe get a better view as far as streets are concerned, where we are looking at this storm headed through. So this is at Watkins Road. Once again, this is for Lauderdale County, Tennessee. So Watkins Road, Barr Road as well. Barr Road is definitely in the line of this storm. Outbounds Road right now getting some heavy rainfall. State Route 19 is definitely getting some heavy rainfall. And the storm is going to continue to push northeast as well. So definitely want to be very weather aware if you live near Dr. Lewis Road, near Central in Lauderdale County, as well as Edith Central Road, Chisholm Lake Road. If you live in that area, you know exactly where I'm talking about. So you definitely want to make sure that you are being very weather aware. Trevor, you have an update over there as well?
Yeah, I just wanted to get you an update on the Memphis storm. And some good news is it does look like they're canceling that tornado warning we were just talking about. So it looks like the rotation has subsided enough. It was very strong over Osceola, but now as it crosses into western Tennessee, still a very strong storm, a dangerous storm, winds of 60 miles an hour, but it doesn't look like it's producing a tornado right now. So it does look like they're going to let that tornado warning go. We still do have a severe thunderstorm warning for Crittenden, Shelby, and DeSoto counties. That's going to go for the next few minutes. They say they want to cancel it. I don't know if I would, to be completely honest with you, because we've still got winds of almost 60 miles an hour. I know it's kind of blocking right there, but that one that says 58, that's over Whitehaven, almost 50 miles an hour in DeSoto County, about 60 miles an hour over President's Island. And I know this is kind of hard to see with all these different colors here, but pretty much we're measuring the winds. The brighter the color, the stronger the winds. And we just have some insane winds in here. These brighter colors, 72 miles an hour, about to cross I-55 in DeSoto County, 64 miles an hour, right on top of Memphis International Airport.
Good.
Nobody's taken off in that, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
And that's moving to the east. Germantown, Collierville along 385, South Haven, Olive Branch, Bartlett, Sycamore View, Whitten, Germantown Parkway, you're going to get that blast of wind here soon. 60 to 70 miles an hour of wind with this storm. And it does look like, they're going to...
They canceled the tornado warning.
Okay, so the tornado warning's been canceled. It looks like they're going to let this severe thunderstorm warning expire. But I'll tell you what, Danielle, I think we're going to stay on this here for just a little bit longer, because with 60 to 70 mile an hour winds in South Haven and Memphis, I don't want to hop off just yet. So the warning officially, I believe they're going to let it go, the severe thunderstorm warning, but we're going to stay with you at least for the next little bit. You see these winds, they are just insane right now, coming into pretty much, again, right over the airport right now. And I'm going to zoom in here now and just kind of go street level into DeSoto County and Memphis for these winds. And I know the colors that you're looking at, they look kind of funky. Again, what you're looking at here is the storm wind. The brighter the color in here, the stronger the wind. The different color, the green and the red, that just tells you what direction it is going. But yes, a good point there. Thank you, Stuart, our graphics operator in the back. No tornado warnings right now in the area. So we don't have any tornado warnings, but we have some nasty thunderstorms rolling through. So this is DeSoto County right now. I want to measure some of these winds. If you're out in your days, 58 mile an hour winds. 2-lane road at Nesbitt, radar picking up 74 mile an hour winds. What was that, Julie?
They are ending broadcasts on CW30.
Okay, great. Yes, let's drop off of CW. We'll send our CW30 audience back to regular programming. Let's stay on ABC 24, at least for the next little bit, and let's hang out on digital. But for CW30, we'll send you back to your regularly scheduled programming.
Well,
and actually,
we're going to go back on CW30.
I apologize to our CW30 audience.
Yep.
We have a new tornado warning that has been issued. It does include parts of Quitman County in Mississippi.
I got
a clip of it. A small clip of it.
Literally a clip of it.
I'll tell you what, Mark's, you're not in it. Danielle, get the latest on that, and we'll hop back over to you in just a little bit. But in an update, Mark's, you're not in a tornado warning. I really want to talk about these winds for just a little bit longer. Danielle, whenever you're ready for an update on that, maybe you can get us a storm track. We can check back in with you. Memphis International Airport just reporting a wind gust. We were just talking about this, wind gust of 50 miles an hour, or 50 knots, I should say. And if I remember from meteorology school, that's about 60 miles an hour.
Got to do some math there.
So it's hard to do, but strong winds nonetheless. But DeSoto County, these winds, this lightning, you see all the lightning blinking there. 2-lane road in Nesbitt, about 74 miles an hour. Now keep in mind, the radar is measuring up in the clouds a little bit. So once that gets to the ground, it's probably going to be closer to 60. But I mean, 60 miles an hour, that is still going to do you a number. You saw the update there, brighter colors there, now moving through South Haven and a good chunk of DeSoto County. Let's see if I can get my button right and I can click on that again. And again, South Haven, let's check Elmore and Church Road. I'm clicking at about the Tanger Outlet Mall, 74 mile an hour winds there. Highway 51 near the driver's license testing facility, 81 miles an hour. And again, these winds are in the clouds. So it's not for sure that those are going to make it directly to the ground, but I mean, it's strong enough that they're going to be close to doing that. Goodman Road and Getwell, almost 70 mile an hour winds there. So that's moving to the east. Olive Branch, Pleasant Hill, charge your cell phones. It is on the way to you. We'll do the same thing for Memphis quickly, and then Danielle, we'll let you get an update on that tornado warning. You can see where the winds pick up. Germantown and Poplar, It's seconds away from you where those winds are really going to be gusting. So if you're in Germantown or Collierville, I really need you to get where you're going within the next couple of minutes. But again, I'm going to do the same thing I did in DeSoto County, the airport, measuring winds of about 59 miles an hour. And what that kind of tells me is that tells me our radar is doing a pretty good job, because the weather station, the actual physical weather station at the airport, just reported about 60 miles an hour. So if our radar is estimating 59, it's doing a pretty good job. That means we can trust some of these other numbers closer to 65 or 70. And that is why I'm not going off the air just yet. I know we technically do not have a severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect for Metro Memphis, but these winds are still something fierce, and we are going to stay with you for at least the next little bit. I will tell you that if we don't have any more warnings, hopefully we can hop off soon, but we're going to stay on here for the next little bit. 72 miles an hour.
The tornado warning's until 8:30 p.m.
Okay, so we're going to be with you at least until then. 66 miles an hour near Shelby Farms. I mean, we just have some serious wind in here. That's why I'm saying go ahead and charge your cell phones. Just to kind of give you a point of view, I will zoom out here and I'll go back to the regular radar, something that's a little easier on your eyes that maybe you're a little more used to seeing. I know it was kind of in that funky mode for a while, but this is the regular radar, the how hard it's raining mode. We can hear it hitting our roof now, I-40 and Sycamore View, and that wind is really hitting our roof. I don't know if I've ever heard it quite that strong since I've been here for the last couple of years. We've got some video from outside. All right, our reporter's doing a great job. Let's take that. This is from our parking lot, literally. I don't know if this is a live picture or just some video from a little bit earlier. Okay, this is some earlier video, and you can see that rain coming down. Now it would be coming down a lot heavier, and the winds are going to be a lot more serious. Let's go back to the radar. I want to do one of two things, and then we'll get over to Danielle. I wanted to kind of put you some perspective to where Memphis is and where that tornado warning is. Technically, it includes most of Tallahatchie County, which we technically do not cover. If you're watching us in Tallahatchie County, we'll keep an eye on it for you, but technically that is not our area of responsibility. That falls to the Greenville, Mississippi television market and to points to the south. So check in with the Greenville folks down there. They'll keep you updated. But you can see that does just barely clip southeastern Quitman. Probably few folks out there. That's a very rural part of Quitman County. Marks, I will tell you, you're not included in this. So if you're in Marks, don't worry about it. Just some rain and wind there, but a very strong storm. And I'm kind of concerned about it. I know I said I was going to do a couple of things, but I'm just kind of thinking out loud here. If you draw a line, that's going to be an issue for Oxford here within the next hour. So no warning right now for Oxford. It's not raining in Oxford, but just drawing a line, that's going to be an issue. One more thing, Danielle, I promise I'll get it to you. They're going to clear out the tornado warning for Arkansas, or the tornado watch for Arkansas. Everybody's under a tornado watch until midnight. They're going to drop that for eastern Arkansas as the threat is now continuing into western Tennessee and northern Mississippi. But if you are down in Quitman County, we do have a tornado warning for parts of the county that is going to go, I believe, until 8:30, you said, Danielle? 8:15, 8:30?
8:30.
8:30. So let's get an update on that. Danielle will tell you what's going on down there.
Yep. Well, you covered a lot of it there. You're right. It's just barely clipping Quitman County. Here's a storm track right now. Webb at 7:53 p.m., Glendora at 8:11 p.m., Cortland at 8:20, Charleston at 8:21, and Pope at 8:22, as well as Oakland at 8:35 p.m. So this storm is barely clipping our viewing area, but it is a tornado warning, so we will be staying on until they expire it, or at least take Quitman County out of that warning. And it is for a severe thunderstorm that's capable of producing a tornado located near Ruleville, moving northeast at around 60 miles an hour. So another very fast moving storm moving through North Mississippi right now. And the National Weather Service says that they're pretty much shifting all of their focus to North Mississippi. But like Trevor said, we're seeing high winds all over the place. We can hear the heavy rainfall falling right here in Bartlett, where our studio is located. It's definitely a very strong storm. We're seeing a lot of rotation moving to the south of our viewing area, not really necessarily where people are counted in our viewing area. But Quitman County definitely still clipping this tornado warning right now. If we take a look at our shear rate, you can see it's not much. It's not as bad as what we were looking at in Osceola. That was definitely a very strong storm that went through there. And if we take a look at what possibly if there was some debris, now that is very telling for sure. for this storm. So definitely want to make sure that you're being very weather aware. If you are in Quitman County, like Trevor said, it's not very populated right there, but definitely we do know some farmers might be located there. You want to make sure that you are in your safe place at this time. And just looking at the storm path, I'll zoom out just a little bit so you can see a little bit better. It is still headed northeast. So that means that Batesville, you might get clipped a little bit. As Trevor was saying, Oxford and Lafayette County, you all might get a little bit of this action. And I'll put a storm track on it so that you can see maybe some possible timing of where it could be in your area. So I'll draw a line on this storm right around the front of it, and I'll make it go all the way past Oxford, Mississippi, so that we can see a little bit better. So Batesville at 7:59 p.m., Cortland at 8:01 p.m., Pope at 8:02 p.m., Charleston also at 8:02 p.m., Oakland at 8:09, Taylor at 8:18, Water Valley at 8:20 p.m., Coffeyville at 8:22 p.m., Toccopola at 8:38 p.m. You definitely want to make sure that you're in your safe place at this time because this storm is headed your way. This tornado warning does expire at 8:30 tonight, so definitely want to make sure that you're being very weather aware, at least for the next 30 minutes to an hour in that area. And this storm kind of has been holding very, very strong. I'm going to look and see what the shear path has been for it, because when we first came on the air, we were definitely seeing some possible rotation. There was a shear marker and there was also a tornado warning. That was near Greenville, but we've seen the storm continue to push northeast, still holding on very, very strong. That's why we say you want to make sure that you are being weather aware. Hey, here's a look at MDOT at I-55 and I-269 at Whitten, and Appling will be next. But look at this. Look at that heavy rainfall, the lightning. You can barely see the cars driving out there. Once again, this is I-55 right at 269. This is our MDOT camera. These cameras are very useful during a time like this, so we can tell you and show you exactly what's happening outside your door. That lightning is very intense right now. You literally can see the wind blowing the rain as it's falling out of the sky. Definitely very, very scary situation out there. You want to make sure that you're being weather aware. Once again, this is because there is a tornado warning in Quitman County. So make sure that you're being very weather aware once again. Now, they did cancel the severe thunderstorm warning for Shelby County, which is good news. But here's a look at Whitten Appling Road. So make sure that you have, we have all of the Mid-South covered tonight as far as videos and what you are seeing. It says that there's reports from downtown Collierville looking west, sees possible power flashes. So that's not good. That means that we could possibly be seeing some people losing some power tonight near the Collierville area. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and see if we can pull up some of our power outages, Trevor, to see if we can see what exactly people are facing tonight, because unfortunately things have just been crazy. Here's a look at our wind speeds outside right now and what exactly. Look at that, 25-mile-an-hour winds here in the Metro Memphis area. Clarksdale, Mississippi, right where that tornado warning was issued, around 30-mile-an-hour winds. This is not wind gusts. These are actual wind speeds. So winds are gusting a little bit higher than that. Another reason why we were telling you to make sure that you had everything tied down. If you have a loose trampoline, it's definitely probably blowing down the roadways as well. I'm going to see if I can get us another view of some of our power outages. But for now, I'll toss it back over to Trevor. Trevor?
Yeah, a few things, Danielle. Just an update. We are not on air currently for our over-the-air viewers, DirecTV or Dish Network. We've had some sort of an outage. We're working on that. So I think maybe Comcast, you're the only folks that can watch us. But keep in mind, if we do have any other issues, you can watch us on our app, ABC24. You can also stream on abc24.com/watch. We're also on Roku and Fire TV. But here's the reason why. Damaging wind gusts across the metro area, 60, 70, 80 miles an hour. And from what we understand, a storm chaser, a good friend of mine, Keith Frank, who is out in Collierville, or at least he is relaying the report from someone else, reporting possible power flashes looking west from Collierville. And when I say the power flashes, what I mean is it's power lines that are being ripped down, and they cause that flash. And I'm sorry if you're a lineman, I'm not probably using the most technical words, but when the power lines get impacted by something and the power goes out, the lines kind of flash off the transformer, those fuses, I think is what they are. And that's going to lead to power outages. So we're going to keep an eye on the MLGW map. We're also going to keep an eye on outages across the Mid-South. You can understand why with these kind of winds, why we're having issues with our signal and why you're probably having issues with your power at home. So hopefully you charged your phone like we told you to, because these winds, they are really, really something else. Right now, our map says about 400 folks in Shelby County without power. I'm kind of curious if the actual MLGW outage map says anything else. They say 14,000, and that number is probably going to go up more. Here's a view. This is the actual MLGW outage map. Big outages now by 385 in Kirby, out in Cordova, Germantown Parkway, and I-40. And I'll tell you what, I bet the issue is one of those squares is over our transmitter. That is our big tower. It's out in the Brunswick portion of Lakeland. That's what sends our signal out to the city. Could be impacted by an outage right now. There should be a generator out there, but you know, who knows how these things work. So hopefully we can get that back up soon, but no wonder why we have these issues with these kind of winds. I'm going to check to see if there's any update from the Weather Service. They're still watching that storm that's just to the south of Memphis. That's the one that Danielle was kind of talking about, that technically clips part of Quitman County with a tornado warning, but it does not include most of Quitman County, just that small southeastern part. So again, if you're in Marks, you're not in a tornado warning, but we're going to watch this one very carefully, because with these moving off to the north and east, what we're going to be concerned about, you see that circle there, that's the area of rotation. As that moves off to the north and east, that's going to put it in Lafayette County within the hour, possibly even southern Panola County. So we're going to be watching that very, very closely as that moves off to the north and the
Trevor,
east. Yes.
I'm seeing that they are issuing, let me pull this back up, because it says that they've issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Shelby County until 8:45 p.m. The bulletin is just not coming through chat just yet. So I'm going to pull this back up once again to just take a look. Yep, there it is. Okay, so I got a notification on my phone. We have so many notifications here when we are in severe weather. But there is now a new severe thunderstorm warning for Benton, DeSoto, and Marshall counties in Mississippi, as well as Fayette, Hardeman, Haywood, Shelby, and Tipton counties until 8:45 p.m. So we're going to continue to stay on the air for quite some time. We called it, you called it, Trevor. This same storm still has really high winds, and that's why they reissued that severe thunderstorm warning for Shelby County. So once again, if you're in the back, we now have a new severe thunderstorm warning for Shelby County, and that goes until 8:45 p.m. There it goes. It just came through the chat. It says winds still near 60 miles an hour with greater than a quarter-sized hail. So definitely a lot going on here in the Mid-South. So I'm going to draw a track on this for you one more time so that we can see exactly where we are talking about. This line is so well defined that you can literally see exactly where the severe warning is located. I'm going to pull this back up right here and zoom in just a little bit. Once again, this is a brand new severe thunderstorm warning for Shelby County as well as DeSoto County until 8:45 p.m. The storm is moving around 60 miles an hour. So here's a new track on it. Mason. Right now, make sure that you're in your safe place for high winds and heavy rainfall. At the very least, we can hear the rainfall here in Bartlett. Collierville at 8:02 p.m. We know that there are a lot of apartments in Collierville, so you definitely want to make sure that you are very weather aware and in your safe place there. Piperton at 8:04 p.m. Byhalia at 8:08. Rossville at 8:09. Somerville at 8:09 as well. Williston at 8:13. Eurekaton at 8:16. And Moscow at 8:17. This is for a severe thunderstorm warning for Shelby County as well as DeSoto County. There's a few places involved with this, so I'll just go ahead and read them off again because this is brand new information. Benton, DeSoto, and Marshall counties in Mississippi, as well as Fayette, Hardeman, Haywood, Shelby, and Tipton counties in Tennessee. So it's a very large polygon is what we like to call it. You can see this yellow on your screen. It literally goes just a little bit north of Mason all the way down to just a little bit north of Holly Springs. So a very strong storm continuing to push northeast throughout the Mid-South. So we're not in the clear just yet. Give us around 3 more hours and the entire Mid-South will be clear from this system. But until we get to then, you're gonna have to bear with us for quite some time because heavy rainfall is definitely moving right now. Hey, here's a look at 385 and Hacks Cross Road. If we can take a look at that video, that should be right where some of the strongest storms are going through right now with that heavy rainfall. There it is, 385. if you drive on 385 on a regular, I'll just go ahead and say like I do, you know that 385 is a big puddle. So this heavy rainfall is definitely not helping at all throughout the Mid-South, and more people driving with those flashers on. And I know people are still probably trying to get home from their Friday work day. It is only 8:02 right now outside, but it is definitely heavy rainfall and a strong storm continuing to push through. I'm going to give you take radar one more time so I can give you another track on this. Collierville right now, make sure that you are in your safe place. Go ahead and get away from those windows if you can. We're going to start to see these power outage numbers continue to rise because the winds with this storm system, very, very high, 60-mile-an-hour winds. That is definitely strong enough to blow anything over, even a tree, especially with this heavy rainfall that we've gotten here in the last 30 minutes to an hour. Byhalia at 8:08 p.m., Rossville at 8:09, Somerville at 8:09 as well, Williston at 8:13 p.m., Eurekaton at 8:16, Moscow at 8:17, Red Banks 8:18, Whiteville at 8:20, and Vildo at 8:22 p.m. This is a very large storm. I'm going to clear some of this off our screen just a little bit so we can see it a little bit better for us. This is definitely indication of high winds whenever we see nice organization like that, and that's going right over 269. So maybe we can pull up a camera over 269 as well as I-22 headed out of South Haven. That would definitely help. Oh, we have MDOT at I-55 and 269, so that'll be another good camera to take a look at this heavy rainfall as well. Winds, 60-mile-an-hour winds. That is definitely crazy. There's a look there.
Wow.
Severe thunderstorm warning. Trevor, it's just literally blowing the rain through. I mean, that is crazy. That car is moving fast. I guess
Way
he
too
has
fast.
great windshield wipers, them too. But you can see the cars off in the distance with their flashers on. The lightning is popping outside right now.
And it's just, the rain is flying by. That's that 50, 60, 70-mile-an-hour wind. That's why we decided to stay with you because it is just insane. And
Right.
I really don't want you driving in this because you notice how you see the cars with their blinkers. Well, eventually they fade off in the distance because they get in the rain. Well, this camera is staying still. Imagine if you're also moving at 70 miles an hour, how quickly the person in front of you is going to disappear.
Winds are so high right now that they just put a considerable tag for this thunderstorm damage threat.
It's the first time I've seen that in Memphis.
Me too, yeah. And we have trees down in Poinsett County, Arkansas. There's a tree blocking a road. That report is already coming in. So once again, these winds are very high. Considerable damage. Now they're saying that winds are moving around 70 miles an hour. Definitely some strong storms. I'm gonna put one more track on here for you, and then I'm gonna toss things over for Trevor because he's got his eye on some stuff as well. We are dividing and conquering tonight. We're gonna keep you safe no matter where you are in the Mid-South. We've had our eye on this storm system for the entire week. We've been watching this storm. We knew it was headed our way. So here's another look. Once again, this is for the severe thunderstorm warning that is for DeSoto as well as Shelby County. Piperton right now, you want to make sure that you're in your safe place. Rossville at 8:10 p.m. Somerville at 8:11. Williston at 8:12. Byhalia at 8:12 p.m. as well. Eurekaton at 8:16, Moscow at 8:17, Whiteville at 8:20, Valdo at 8:22, and Red Banks at 8:23, and that is in Mississippi as well, Trevor. So it's a lot going on. Very busy weather night. Definitely want to make sure, we've been saying it, charge those phones now. The power is definitely going to start to go out, especially since we've been seeing trees fall. The winds are high. The rain is falling very, very high, very, very high rates as well. So what have you been taking a look at over there, Trevor?
Well, I've got some good news for us. I think we need it just for a second. I did want to give you an update. If you're in eastern Arkansas, we can give you the all clear from the severe weather threat. We love giving folks the all clear. If you are in eastern Arkansas, your severe weather threat is over. Now we're focused on western Tennessee, northern Mississippi. Everybody in yellow, you're under a tornado watch technically until midnight. That will likely be dropped a little sooner than that. The orange box that you see there, that is a severe thunderstorm warning for damaging winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour. The National Weather Service says there is a considerable damage threat. Again, we don't need a tornado to cause damage. Winds can do just the same. We technically have a tornado warning for parts of Quitman County. I'm really going to be watching that storm because if you follow that line, it's going to be near Oxford within the next hour or so. Let's take a live look outside. We'll show you what's going on here in the city of Memphis. And then I want to point out something interesting. This is at one of the interstates here in Memphis. TDOT showing us that view. You can see the rain and the wind starting to come down, continuing to come down. So it's just a mess outside. Even without a tornado warning, I don't want you outside in this. So I want to go back over to the radar, and I want to talk about something that is going on right now that I've been watching and the folks at the Weather Service have been watching. So this is your radar. We call this the how hard it's raining mode. The brighter the colors, the harder it's raining. So we have just crazy rain in Collierville, Oakland, up to Arlington. The rain is starting to let up in Memphis. It's starting to let up in South Haven. But what's interesting is the winds are getting stronger once the rain moves out. So I want to swap back over to the wind mode. And again, this is the mode that kind of looks funky to many people. Pretty much what it is it's just a view of the, instead of how hard it's raining, this is showing you how hard the wind is blowing. And you can see that line right there. That's the leading edge of the thunderstorm. The brighter the colors, the stronger the winds. Well, what's interesting is I told you the rain was starting to let up in Memphis, but if you look over downtown, we've still got winds of 60 miles an hour. Olive Branch, insane winds right now, 70 to 80 mile an hour winds right now. Same story in Collierville, just destructive winds. These are winds that could be in a tornado. So again, it does not take a tornado to cause damage. We have very, very strong winds right now. And I think what's happening, not to get too technical, we probably have what's called a wake low that is developing here. And when I say wake low, think about it if you've ever been out on the boat, if you've been on the lake on the boat. When you go past on the boat, you get that kind of turbulence behind the boat. The wake is what they call it. And that is pretty much what's happening here. This storm is blowing through so fast that it's creating a little area of low pressure. And so even once it stops raining, we still have insane winds coming in on the backside of this storm that can still lead to some power outages. All right, Julie, I think you said we had flooding, if I heard you right. Maybe I did. Okay, my goodness. Okay, this is Summer and Highland, one of those spots. I said this morning, I said it over and over again, the spots that always flood are gonna flood. Well, here we are, Summer and Highland. We talk about it every single time. The drains are just not good at that intersection, and so we've got flooding there. I don't want you to drive through this, especially at night, because you never know how deep it is. Roads can wash out in situations like this, so that is going to be a concern. Again, what you're looking at here is Summer and Highland. We've got some flooding out there, even some flooding into the Valero parking lot. All right, let's go back over to the radar. We will show you what is going on a little bit closer to home and show you what's happening here in the city of Memphis. Still very, very strong winds. Oakland and Somerville right now. Also coming into the Lewisburg area of South Haven, of DeSoto County, I should say. Again, not a tornado warning, but destructive winds nonetheless. I'm going to put a storm track on these winds, and then I'm going to go back to Danielle because she's still monitoring that tornado-warned storm that we're concerned about could eventually make it toward Oxford. At Brownsville, I don't want to forget about you. We don't have a warning for you. Those winds are not quite as strong, but they are still strong. So let's measure this out here. We're not moving quite that fast, probably a little closer to 60 or 65 miles an hour. So when we put a storm track on this, this is when those winds are going to arrive to you. Rossville, Tennessee by about 8:12. Christmasville, Tennessee, 8:12. Byhalia, Mississippi, 8:14. Somerville, Tennessee, about the same time. Independence, Mississippi in Tate County by about 8:16. Brownsville by 8:16 as well. And then Eurekaton up in Tennessee by about 8:18. So this line is marching, and I could probably time it out for the rest of the area because it is moving so fast. I will say this line segment will probably be out of our area by 10 p.m. And then hopefully the rest of the night will be pretty calm. But again, right now, if you're just joining us, if you're maybe in Collierville and this rain is just hitting you, we've got destructive winds moving through the Memphis metro area, 60 to 70 miles an hour. We've got power outages. We'll get another check of the MLGW outage map whenever we can. Last check was 14,000. I have a feeling that has gone up. All right, it's 11,000. Wow, folks out there working. And of course, we do know that they work hard, and we appreciate them for being out there, but still seeing major outages now up near Fraser and the Raleigh area, I should say. That looks like about Austin P and Yale, near the old Raleigh Springs Mall. That's what I remember being at that intersection. So if you live up near that area in Raleigh, we've got some good outages there. Also power outages on the east side of Shelby Farms over toward Cordova along Germantown Parkway, and a good bit of outages in the Loop. Again, right now a little over 11,000 customers without power in the city of Memphis. I'm afraid that might go up a little bit before it comes on down. So go ahead and charge your phones. Again, those winds are going to remain breezy even once the storms move on out of here.
Hey, Trevor, I
So
want to
again,
take a look at this tornado. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, go for it. I was
'cause-
just about to talk about it. No tornado warning in Memphis, but we're watching that storm in northern Mississippi. Danielle's got her eye on that.
Yeah, it was barely clipping our viewing area, but they have definitely kept it in there for the update. And this is for definitely Quitman County. Once again, Tallahatchie, like Trevor said, is not in our viewing area, but this is until 8:30. It's a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near Webb or 12 miles east of Parchment, moving northeast at 60 miles an hour. So that tells you exactly how high those winds are. You can see in the red box, that is your tornado warning. I'll take the radar off so it looks a little bit clearer. So what I'll do is I will go to our Barron button. We haven't taken a look at that in quite some time as well. So you can see that red box. This is the tornado warning that is in effect until 8:30. So you have about 20 more minutes with this one tornado warning. So Charleston at 8:21 p.m., Oakland at 8:33 p.m., Pope at 8:38, Cortland at 8:41, and Water Valley at 8:56 p.m., as well as Taylor at 9:04 p.m. So this storm is moving northeast. So as you can see, this gray area that I drew on the screen right here, that is what we're keeping our eye on because the storm is headed that way. So it could clip a little bit of Batesville. It could clip a little bit of Lafayette County there as well. So even though we're not really looking at a heavily populated area, whereas it barely clips Quitman County. It's literally this one little square that's barely clipping our viewing area. It is still a tornado warning for those people in that area. So it's going to continue to push northeast, and these winds are around 60 miles an hour. If we take a look at our shear path, what can we see here? Not much shear involved with this. So that's kind of good news, but that doesn't mean that things are settling down and has the ingredients for a possible tornado. Otherwise, they would not have issued this tornado warning, and it's been in effect for almost 30 minutes. So that tells you exactly how serious this is. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit for the actual box so that we can see a better street view of where this storm is headed exactly. There we go. So Levee Road definitely being impacted right now. Paducah Wells Road, Little Road, North Creek, as well as South Creek Road. This is right near Cowart, near Tandy as well, near Charleston. And this storm is moving northeast. So if you know anyone that's near Levee Road or Paducah Wells Road or even Little Road or North Creek or South Creek Road, you definitely want to make sure that they are in their safe place at this time. And if I move it just a little bit to get some more street names, Pine Hill Road, as well as Oak Grove Road, Adams Road. These are little itty bitty roads that could have some houses, maybe some farmland out there. Definitely want to make sure that you're in your safe place for this tornado warning. This storm is very strong, and we've been keeping our eye on it for quite some time. If we put this is what we call our correlation coefficient. It tells us maybe there was some debris in that area. And honestly, it's been showing a little bit, but this is kind of far from our radar site. So I probably should switch the radar over to maybe get us a little bit of a better view. We use multiple radars because we are covering 3 different states. So it really helps at times when we can switch things over. There we go. So you can see that there is a rotation detector there in that area, and this is exactly where we could be seeing some possible debris. The good news is that this is not a confirmed tornado. This is radar indicated right now, so don't be too afraid, but you do need to make sure that you are in your safe place away from those windows. Definitely want to make sure that you're in your lowest part of your home, maybe in the hallway. Definitely want to make sure that you are hunkered down at this time, and this storm is going to continue to push northeast. So Oakland definitely in the area right now for some possible strong storm that is headed your way. And put the shear rate on here once again as we take a look at our other radar. You can tell it's a difference when you switch those radars out here. Here's a look at your hail tracker from this same storm system. Definitely seeing some possible hail involved with this storm system as well. So if you're in this area, definitely a little bit of Quitman County, just barely clipping it there, but you can see that pink on your screen. You're definitely dealing with some heavy rainfall. You're probably hearing a little bit of hail outside your window. Definitely hearing the wind whistling. Those tornado sirens are going off at this moment, and these storms are going to continue to push. Let's take another look at some of our TDOT cams in North Mississippi if we have any, to just show people at home exactly what they are looking at. Here's a look at our TDOT camera. This is at I-40 at 385, so a little bit way further north of where this storm is located, but it's still storing no matter where you are in the Mid-South, and that severe thunderstorm warning is still involved for Shelby County until 8:45 tonight. So it doesn't matter where you are. This is definitely heavy rainfall and high winds moving through the area as well. And Jolie, did you say that there was one at 385 as well at Hacks Cross? That we can, no, okay, so it's okay. So yes, we are taking a look at these storms. I'll put the radar back on, and I'm going to do a little bit of a reset so we can see exactly what our entire viewing area is seeing right now. As Trevor said, the good news is that we have definitely seen Arkansas counties being taken out of all of these warnings and watches because the bulk of the storm has really made it through the Metro Memphis area as well. So that severe thunderstorm warning is just barely clipping parts of Shelby County, and it's continually pushed to the northeast as well. And as you can see, there it is. That is that tornado warning we've been talking about. They're going to extend it. They just extended it, and it's going to include Lafayette County as well and Oxford, Mississippi. So I'm going to go zoom in into that area once again and get a better look and put a new storm track on there. As you can see, if I take a wider look, if you guys get rid of the super down there, there is a confirmed tornado just south of Greenville in Mississippi. So a lot going on all across the Mid-South here. I'm going to zoom in. This is a new tornado warning, and it does include Lafayette County as well. Let's go ahead and click on it and get some more information because it hasn't come out just yet exactly what it is for. Here it is. For Lafayette as well as Panola County, and this is until 9 o'clock tonight. So a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Charleston, moving northeast at 55 miles an hour. So that was exactly what we were talking about a little bit earlier. I put a new storm track on here for you all, because it is a very large cluster of a storm. And that way we can see exactly what we're looking at here, moving around 55 miles an hour. Okay, so as I call out your town, you want to make sure that you are in your safe place at this time. This is for a tornado warning. Once again, it was just issued. It does include Lafayette County, unfortunately. And I'll put another one on there in a few seconds. But Toccopola at 8:24 p.m., Thaxton at 8:27, Coffeyville at 8:30 p.m., Pontotoc at 8:37 p.m., Myrtle at 8:40, New Albany at 8:43, Bruce at 8:48, and Tupelo at 8:53. Obviously, Tupelo is not quite in our viewing area. They have their own stations there, but this storm system is kind of big, and they have multiple tornado warnings in that area. So you can see this is the newest one, and I'll take the radar off so it looks a little bit clearer for us here. There we go. So this is the newest tornado warning, and it does include Panola County as well as Lafayette County. This is the other one where you can see that is near Quitman County that was barely clipping the area, and that is until 8:30 tonight. You can see that there is a rotation detector there. The winds are high, and a little bit earlier we were picking up some possible debris. The good news is, as of right now, it is not a confirmed tornado, but it's definitely something that we are keeping our eye on. Right now, it is. Oh, there we go. So make sure that you're being very weather aware once again for North Mississippi. So Panola County as well as Lafayette County, a little bit of Quitman County still moving along with this tornado warning. So things are definitely picking up in that area. We haven't seen any debris quite yet, but it is definitely a fast moving storm with winds up to 60 miles an hour. The rainfall is falling very fast in that area. And if we take a look at our possible winds that could be involved with this storm, it's definitely showing, there we go, if we zoom in just a little bit, the winds are high in this area. So around 32 miles an hour, that's headed that way. And if we get this little bit over, there we go, at 51 miles an hour and 47 miles an hour, that's right where that rotation is, and that is headed into Panola County, right where Batesville is. And I remember this time last year, Batesville, you all got a tornado that actually touched down in that area. So you definitely want to make sure that you're being very weather aware at this time as well. Here's a look at 269 at the state line. This is another MDOT camera that is showing the heavy rainfall, and people, once again, still on their way home. You can see the lightning. The lightning has been very fierce with this storm system, and that is definitely a cause for concern as well. if lightning hits a transformer, you could definitely be seeing a lot of power outages. And we know the people in Holly Springs have been really concerned and really dealing with some power issues in the last few weeks and the last few months as well. Once again, this is all radar indicated tornado warnings. So remember, tornado warning for Lafayette, Panola County in Mississippi, as well as barely clipping the Quitman County viewing area. So just be very weather aware. We've been watching this one storm kind of develop for quite some time. Trevor, what do you got going on over there? What are you working on there?
I am trying to get some information on our signal. From what I understand, we're actually only on Facebook and maybe one or two, one of the outlying cable outlets. So we're working on getting that signal back up right now. So I don't have too much other new information to pass along. But I was just watching that same storm that you were talking about. And, you know, we mentioned a little bit ago that same situation where eventually that line was going to come up and bring that line of thunderstorms to near Oxford. Oxford now under that tornado warning. That includes the campus of Ole Miss. If you're out on the square in Oxford right now, we need you to be in that tornado safe place. And again, that includes southern portions of Panola County, parts of Batesville, and it does include Oxford and again, the campus of Ole Miss. This thing is going to be really close to campus. So if you've got kids down there, give them a call and let them know about that situation and what is going on. And again, what I want to do is I'm actually going to do those tornado safe places. If you are in Oxford or if you're in Batesville, here's what you need to do. We want you on the lowest floor of the building that you are in. We don't want you driving around trying to find somewhere else to go. Just go to the smallest room, a basement if you got one. Most people don't. Smallest center room in your house. That's like a bathroom or a closet. Stay away from windows and cover yourself. Helmets, pots and pans, anything you got to cover your head, that is going to be a good bet as well. Not too many high rises down there, but of course, if you are in an apartment building in Oxford, make friends with your neighbor, lowest floor you got, knock on their door and say, hey, I need to come in and seek shelter. You do not need to be on an upper floor. You need to be on that bottom floor. If you don't know your neighbors, the community room, the gym, any of those apartment complexes that have those down near campus at Ole Miss, that is going to be a good place for you to go. But if you are in your home and you're in this tornado warning, let's check out that safe place and we will show you what is going on there. The best place to be in your house, again, that centermost room, bathroom, closet, that's going to be the best place for you. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible and stay away from windows. You do not want to be in a room with any windows. Again, that's because of this tornado warned storm, some circulation down in Yalobusha County coming through, about to be into Panola and Lafayette counties. Again, Oxford, you are included in this. So what we can do here, let's see if we've got a storm track on it, and we do. So I'm going to click on that there. BTI right now, that's our Barron Tornado Index, a scale of 1 to 10 of the likelihood of this being a tornado. Right now it's a 4.2, so about a 40% chance that this thing is a tornado right now. But again, that would eventually take it near Cortland on I-55 by about 8:38, Water Valley by 8:50, and probably near Oxford by about 9 p.m. So again, if you know anybody, it's a Friday night in a college town. I was there a couple of years ago. I know how it is. Give them a call. Give your kids a call. If they have any friends, cousins, brothers, aunts, whatever you got. If they're in Oxford, if they're at Ole Miss, down on the square, I've got some friends down there that I would call if I could. Might shoot them a text here in just a little bit. But if you know anybody that might be out and about on the campus of Ole Miss and out on the square downtown, give them a call and let them know they need to find a better place to go. Try to go home if you can. You got about 30 minutes if you can get there, but you probably just need to stay where you are and take shelter wherever you can. All right, let's get another update on the severe thunderstorm warning. This is a new severe thunderstorm warning, or at least they are continuing it, it looks like.
I have a track on there.
Yeah, let's go back up to that, and I'll zoom out and kind of give you that context. We're still watching that line of storms here. And Danielle, I'm going to let you give that track, and then I'm going to give another update on the winds we're seeing now behind those thunderstorms.
Right, yes, because that is a very good point, Trevor, because it's going to be windy tomorrow. Even once we clear out and all this is done, the winds are definitely anticipated as well for your Saturday. Thursday. Here's an updated track. This is a new severe thunderstorm warning, like Trevor was saying. Now, this is for considerable damage as well, and that's because the winds are gusting up to 70 miles an hour, and that's radar indicated, but we've been hearing the winds here in Bartland. You can definitely tell the difference. This severe thunderstorm warning is for Benton, Marshall, Fayette, Hardeman, and Haywood counties until 8:45 p.m. Now, we don't have, a lot of damage to report. However, the winds are at 70 miles an hour. We've been getting rainfall up to an inch in the last hour or so. So definitely anticipating some possible trees falling down, which means more power outages could be happening. So Whiteville right now, you want to make sure that you're in your safe place. Denmark at 8:30, Grand Junction at 8:38 p.m., Tune at 8:40 p.m., Bolivar at 8:44 p.m., Hornsby at 8:55 p.m., and Middleton at 8:57 p.m. I know if you were watching the 6 o'clock show tonight, you know that I was saying this was going to be a very fast moving storm, and it really has been. It is shown very quickly over the last few hours. We've been watching this storm for quite some time, but really things started getting kicked up around 7 o'clock, and now things are starting to die down just a little bit. The good news we have for you is that some counties have been removed from the tornado watch, which is even better. Now, if I go back into North Mississippi just a little bit, they did allow one of those tornado warnings to expire, and that was the one in Quitman County. However, we're not in the clear just yet, North Mississippi, and I'll pull this up just a little bit so we can keep our super on the screen so you can see exactly what we're talking about. This is the new tornado warning that Trevor was saying that's for Oxford, Mississippi, where Ole Miss is located, as well as Panola County and Batesville. You can see that sheer marker on your screen there. Since we're in North Mississippi, I'm going to go ahead and change our radar over so that we can get a better idea. Wow, look at there. I'm going to zoom in right there near Batesville, Mississippi. That is a strong little storm there. You can see the lightning on that storm in this area. It's pink and black, so that's not good. We're going to get a little bit of a better look here as far as velocity is concerned. What we're looking at with our winds, how high are the winds in that area? The bright colors really tell a story there for us. And this tornado warning is in effect until 9 p.m. So our radar is picking up that there's around 58 miles an hour wind headed towards Batesville right now in Panola County, Mississippi. Maybe even some high winds in the area continue to push northward towards Oxford, Mississippi as well. If we take a look at our Barron button lets us know exactly what's going on. This is one of my favorite parts of our radar. We look at different things to tell us how strong a storm is. You can see the rainfall is falling 2 inches per hour. So that means that there's very heavy rainfall in that area, once again, for this tornado warning. And you can see this is our legend up here. The rain is the green, the purple, possible hail, the yellow and the red are our wind speeds. So definitely a very strong storm. So I would not be surprised if this storm really could produce a tornado, and that is why they issued that tornado warning in kind of the staggering effect that you can see here, and it crossed over into, it's going to be crossing over into Panola County really, really closely. And once again, it is a tornado warning, and it's not confirmed. So this is all radar indicated. That doesn't mean let your guard down. You definitely want to make sure that you're in your safe place at this time for Panola County as well as Lafayette County. Definitely some hail falling there as well. And this is right where that shear marker was located. Lots of lightning strikes in that area. I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see some power outages there as well. Our hail path lets us see, there we go, we canceled the other tornado warning that was in effect that was barely clipping Quitman County, but this one is still going to go on. But you can see the hail path. It's been definitely developing a lot of hail as it continues to push northeast. And so Oxford, Mississippi, this storm is headed your way. The worst of it has not gotten there. So that's why Trevor was telling you, if you know someone that is in that area, you definitely want to call and tell them, hey, get into your safe place. Make sure that you are in the lowest part of your building. Make sure that you have someone to talk to, someone that you know very well. Here's a look at our hail detector. It kind of gives us an idea of the size of some possible hail in this area. And it looks like it could be some small hail. And that's what we've been anticipating with this storm system. So definitely something that we will be keeping our eye on. Trevor's been working on some stuff over there as well. Trevor, what do you have for us?
Yeah, Danielle, I just want to give kind of a big reset as we come up on 8:30. Just wanted to kind kind of break everything down for you if you are watching from other parts of the area. First of all, you're watching us on WATN, ABC 24 Memphis, and CW30 WLMT Memphis. I'm meteorologist Trevor Burchett alongside meteorologist Danielle Moss. We are keeping an eye on the radar. We are with you because of several severe thunderstorm warnings and a tornado warning that has been issued for Panola County and for Lafayette County in Mississippi. We're going to get to that in a second, but I do also want to get to this strong line of thunderstorms that is rolling through the Mid-South. Brownsville, the worst is past you. Alamo, right on top of you right now. And again, all of this is just severe thunderstorm warnings. That's for winds of 60 miles an hour. No tornado warnings in Tennessee, but that wind is something else coming through Somerville. It's going to be in Bolivar in the next 30 minutes or so. You've got a severe thunderstorm warning. And it's the same story in northern Mississippi. Heavy rain, wind in DeSoto County, Marshall County, you're getting in on it. Holly Springs, Byhalia, Red Banks, heads up Ashland and Ripley. You're going to be up next. And then, of course, Danielle was telling you about that tornado warning that goes for Panola and Lafayette County for the next little bit. I want to mention something interesting. If you've been with us for a minute, I mentioned a wake low that I think is happening across the Mid-South right now. And pretty much that's just because these storms are so strong. It's like if you punch a boat through the lake and you make a wake. You know, the other boaters don't like that. They don't want you to do a wake when you're docked, but you can make that wake and it kind of causes some turbulence behind your boat. The same thing can happen in the atmosphere. When these storms come through and they're so strong, they're producing winds on the backside of that storm. So I found you a little explainer just to kind of give you an idea of, well, what in the world does that mean? What does it look like? Well, before the storm gets in, you've got low pressure on the front, higher pressure on the back. And then as the storms come on through, of course, that wind starts to come back from behind the storm. That's kind of what we had about an hour ago in Memphis. We had those strong winds right ahead of the storm. Well, it's so strong that you actually get a little secondary area of low pressure forming right behind the storm. And as that comes through, that creates very gusty winds due to that pressure difference once the storms move out. So you've got the strong winds with the storm and then the strong winds that continue once the storms move out. So what we can do if we switch over to our velocity mode, this is going to show you the winds in the storm. And at first glance, it's going to look like a bucket of spilled paint. But what you need to know is the brighter the color, the stronger the wind. Now, the heaviest of the rain is done in Memphis, but radar is still estimating winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour. Same story in Covington. Radar is estimating winds of nearly 70. Even up toward Dyersburg, winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour, even once that line of storms is done. So power outage is going to remain a concern. Down trees, down power lines. Radar estimating 84 right now, just over about Shelby Forest. And as a matter of fact, I want to zoom in here. Again, the worst of the rain is now done in the metro, but the winds are just continuing to really pick up. So the winds are just remaining insane out there right now. We've been hearing it on our roof, and you can see those estimates. I mean, this is just insane wind out here. Even close to the radar, you're getting winds of 70 miles an hour. So definitely batten down the hatches here for the next little bit until this can all come to an end within the next hour or two. Again, if you're just joining us, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning for a good chunk of the area. That's for the wind. 60-mile-an-hour wind for northern Hardeman, northern McNairy, over toward Jackson, parts of Haywood County and Fayette County, also Marshall and Benton County. That's going to go here for about the next 30 or 45 minutes. What we're most concerned with right now is that potential of a tornado that's coming into southern Panola County and is eventually going to be very, very close to the city of Oxford. Right now, we've got that rotation pretty much just over I-55 near Sardis. There's Sardis Lake, if you can see it there. Not the best view, but right in there is Sardis Lake. And that is going to be coming pretty close to, that might be Enid Lake. One of those two, you'll forgive me, I do actually think that's Enid Lake. Sardis is off to the north, I think. One of the lakes down in northern Mississippi, it's pretty much right on top of that. Cortland and Pope on I-55. And again, if it stays on its same path, that is going to be a concern for Oxford pretty soon. Danielle, did you see what the wind, what the speed was on this storm? How fast it was moving?
Yes, it was 60 miles an hour.
Okay, perfect. So
Yep.
I wanted to put another storm track on that just to track it now into Oxford, because now we're close enough that we can probably get it into the city of Oxford. And I'm going to get some of this other junk off the screen so you can see it just a little bit better. So Taylor, Mississippi by 8:55. Ole Miss, 9:01 p.m. You've got about 30 minutes. I'm telling you, go ahead and call if you've got kids down in college at Ole Miss. They're probably out and about right now, so give them a call, shoot them a text, make sure they are aware that they need to be in a safe place. They don't need to be walking around the square, walking around campus, doing whatever they do. They need to find somewhere they're going to be, and they need to stay there for the next 30 to 45 minutes, because even once the threat of a tornado passes, which is what we're kind of timing out here, once the tornado threat passes, you're still going to have winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour, heavy rain and lightning. So I would not be out in Oxford from now until about 10 or 10:30 and let those storms completely pass by. Again, National Weather Service confirming that area of potential tornadoes, some rotation, just passed over I-55 right there at the southern Panola County line. And I'm going to zoom back in here real tight and get real close to where that possible rotation is. There's Hubbard Creek. It is Enid Lake. Forgive me if you're in North Mississippi. I'm from North Mississippi. I grew up, born and raised in South Haven. There's a lot of little communities to remember, so bear with me. But that was Enid Lake I was trying to talk about. Sardis, of course, on the north side of Oxford. But if you're out near Enid Lake, north side of Enid Lake, that's pretty much where this possible rotation is going to be going here. We'll zoom in just a little bit tighter. Snyder Road, Plum Point Road, not the Plum Point Road in DeSoto County. This is the one in Panola County. Hubbard Road, Crouch Road, that is going to be Eureka Road near Shuford. Again, that's in Panola County. Eventually, that is going to be a concern for Lafayette County, the community of Splinter, Dallas Jones Crossing, Taylor, Cotton Road, north side of Highway 7 near Marquette. That's on the south side of Oxford, right where 7 and 9 split. That is pretty much where this rotation is going to be tracking. And again, if it holds together, that is going to be pretty close to the city of Oxford and the campus of Ole Miss. National Weather Service providing some more detail. They say tornado located over George Payne State Park. If you're familiar with that area, and a tornado warning does continue, that is going to go until 9 p.m. for Lafayette, Panola, and Yalobusha counties. And again, that area of rotation still back near I-55. One more time, I want to show you your tornado safe tips. If you're in that red box right now, that's southern portions of Batesville. Batesville, I do think it's going to stay south of you. More of an issue for Pope and Cortland, but eventually going to be an issue for Taylor, Mississippi, and Oxford. So that's who I'm really focused on, southeastern Panola County, Taylor, and Oxford. If you're in those areas, really Panola or Lafayette County, again, I want to remind you of your tornado safety tips. You want to be on the lowest floor of the building that you can. It says basement. Nobody here really has a basement. If you do, in one of the older homes in Oxford, that's a good place to be. Otherwise, you want to get on the smallest room that you can, stay away from windows, and cover your head with something. And again, if you're a student, if you are in an apartment building at Ole Miss, and you're on an upper floor, now is a great time to meet your neighbor. If you don't know them already, I know when I grew up, when I grew up, but I was in college at Mississippi State in Starkville, I made friends with my downstairs neighbor just in case I needed to seek shelter, I could. So if you don't know your downstairs neighbor, now's a great time to know them. If not, and you're in Oxford at an apartment community, the gym, the community room, the leasing office, anything that you can get to, that is going to be a better place to be than on any of those upper floors. All right, we've got a picture to show you. I think you said this was Oxford. Is that right? All right, here's a live view in Oxford. We'll take you outside there. And it's pretty calm and quiet. We've got a little bit of rain happening, some gusty winds out there for sure. And I think this is right there on 7 coming into town. That lightning there you see just starting to come down at a pretty good clip as well. So this is a live view in Oxford. Things are quiet for now, but again, you are under a tornado warning with damaging winds for sure. Possible tornado arriving in town by 9 p.m. Danielle, I'm looking at your screen. I think you're looking from the Columbus, Mississippi radar. That's a little bit of a better view. I don't like what I'm seeing there. That's a nasty sign of rotation. Let's hop back over to you and let's get down a little closer and where you can see that spinning circle that just popped up.
Yep, and they just popped up.
Also, another thing to mention, all the lightning you see blinking, that's a telltale sign that a storm is intensifying. So no good down there. Let's go over to Danielle, that rotation over Shuford in southeastern Panola County.
Right, yes. So I'm going to read out some places right now where you should be in your safe place and where the storm is exactly passing over. This is near Mount Olivet, Joyner Road, as well as Bibbs Road and Tidwell Road, Shady Grove Road, near Splinter, as well as Clear Creek Road, Phelps Road, Eureka Road, Shuford Road. It's definitely a very strong storm. I'm going to see exactly how high these winds are in this area. This bright color tells us, wow. Radar indicated right now 85-mile-an-hour winds in this area. This is associated with this tornado warning. I zoomed in a lot, so I know that it is probably very confusing, but I'm going to zoom in a little bit more so we can get some more road names just in case. Barnett Road, Tidwell Road, Bibbs Road. It's about to cross May Road, headed northeast, so going to go towards Mount Olivet as well. Maybe even Eureka Road and Henderson Road being impacted right now. Definitely a lot of high winds in that area right now. I've been kind of looking at our Barron button just a little bit. I'm going to zoom out just a bit so we can see a little bit better exactly where this tornado looks like. And you can see definitely been tracking some hail. At the very least, other than the radar indicated 85-mile-an-hour winds, we've been seeing some possible hail associated with this storm. And there's an update there of that scan. This is our Mississippi radar that we are taking a look at right now. To me, it has a little bit of a better grasp of this possible tornado warned severe thunderstorm as well. They're talking in chat a lot about this storm, and they are issuing some strong weather statements right now, but I want to keep focusing on this as it is headed towards Oxford. It is still tracking northeast. That red on your screen tells us that there is some very high winds there, and that's where we saw that 85 miles. That's the highest winds we've seen all night, 85 miles an hour. That is really, really crazy. Here's a look at our rotation detector, especially with 85-mile-an-hour winds. You have to be very, very careful because you could definitely see some possible rotation in that area. Like Trevor said, this storm is headed right towards Oxford and Ole Miss. I'm going to put a storm track on it so that we can keep our eye exactly where we are looking at. Instead of doing a wider view, I'm going to do more of a pinpoint and move it around 45 miles an hour. So if I call your town, you definitely want to make sure that you are in your safe place at this time. So Taylor at 8:57 p.m., Ole Miss at 9:05 p.m., Oxford at 9:07 p.m., Abbeville at 9:16 p.m., Potts Camp at 9:35 p.m., Hickory Flat at 9:39 p.m., and Myrtle at 9:41 p.m. Once again, this storm is headed northeast. So this dark color that you see that I just drew there, that lets us know exactly where we are anticipating this storm to impact in what area should be getting ready to take their safe place. Now, sometimes, you might not be included in this tornado warning. Like I called out Abbeville, but that doesn't mean that you should let your guard down. That means that this storm is headed your way. So go ahead and get into your safe place. This little piece of red that you're seeing there shows us once again, there's some possible shear associated with this storm. And we call shear our rotation. So how high are those winds really getting in that area? And as you saw a little bit earlier, and I'll clear some of the stuff off the screen. That really bright red that you're seeing on your screen right in this area where I'll do a little bit of a dropper. That is very alarming. Possible 84-mile-an-hour wind, maybe even 60-mile-an-hour wind. That's radar indicated. That's detrimental. So trees can be falling, even if there's not a tornado right now. Definitely anticipating some high winds. Definitely possibly some power outages at the very least. 84-mile-an-hour winds can definitely knock over some trees, especially with all the rainfall that we've been seeing. In fact, I know that the rainfall was falling at around 2 inches per hour. Here's a look, maybe even registering greater than an inch size hail. That is definitely a cause for concern. If that is falling outside, you definitely can anticipate some damage to cars or to anything that is outside in that area. So this storm is very, very strong at its and it's not really showing that it's weakening per se. It's continuing to push northeast. So like I said, if you're in Abbeville, you definitely want to make sure that you are in your safe place. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit closer because I like for us to have a street view of things, especially when there is a tornado warning going on. That way people can know exactly where this storm is, because you might be in Panola County, but the storm has already passed you. So like Batesville, you probably are just dealing with some rainfall right now. However, if you're near Splinter or Clear Creek Road, you definitely need to make sure that you are in your safe place at this time. Burgess definitely need to be in your safe place at this time. I've called Shady Grove Road as well as Joyner Road multiple times. Definitely want to make sure that you are in your safe place at this time. Ridgeland, definitely in an area of concern as well. I'll zoom out just a little bit and see if we can get another track on here, because, you know, like Trevor said, we've all been in college. We all know that weather is probably the last thing that you are thinking about, especially right now, as you're just thinking it's raining outside. So if you do have any kids that are in a school at Oxford and Ole Miss, definitely want to make sure that they are well aware of the situation that is going on. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more so we can see exactly where this inch-size hail, that's really crazy. On top of 85-mile-an-hour wind, we're looking at hail that could be greater than an inch. So Dees Road, May Road, Joyner Road, as well as Henderson Road and Barnett Road, definitely in the area for this possible tornado warned storm as well. They also continued the severe thunderstorm warning with, once again, considerable wind damage, 70-mile-an-hour wind, and that is for Hardeman and McNairy counties in Tennessee until 9 p.m. So I'm going to do kind of what Trevor did as well. Sometimes you just like to see, well, what does the entire viewing area look like? What are we anticipating here? And as you can see, most of the rainfall is out of the Arkansas area. However, that doesn't mean that we're in the clear over the entire Mid-South. If you are in Arkansas, you are taking a little bit of a sigh of relief. But here's a new bulletin about that tornado warning. It is once again continue for Lafayette and Panola until 9 p.m. tonight. And a severe thunderstorm warning. It is capable of producing a tornado located near Springdale or near Water Valley, moving northeast at 55 miles an hour. So I'm going to zoom back in here and I'm going to draw a little bit of a track for 55 miles an hour for us so that we can have a little bit better of a idea.
Hey, Danielle, I've got that over on mine. I've got the skit up if you just want to take that. And that also gives you the BTI, which I did want to give an update on really quick. And again, I do want to give an update. We had a tweet out, so I also wanted to give an update that this is kind of the only game in town right now with a tornado threat. So if you're watching from eastern Arkansas, you're done with the severe weather threat. Memphis, we're done with the severe weather threat. The winds are going to remain very breezy once the storms pass you. But right now, this is our only tornado concern. We've got wind and rain elsewhere, but this is really what we're concerned about. And again, Danielle was going to draw that storm track. I'll help you out, Danielle. And I just will pull it up over here. That'll let you free up to let you do something else. Taylor, 8:55, Ole Miss and Oxford at 9:01. I do not like at all how that line is directly over Oxford. And you'll notice here, shear. That is the combined winds. What the radar can do as the radar sends out a beam, I'm not going to spend long on this. I know you don't want a meteorology class, but as the radar spins around, it can measure wind in two directions, toward and away. It can then combine that into how fast the storm is spinning, which is 103 miles an hour. That's coming into Oxford. So Oxford, you have 10 minutes now. Please, folks, call your friends, your kids that are at Ole Miss and let them know that they need to be inside. Our producer, Julie, working back in the booth, and we've got a whole host of folks back there. I don't want to forget them. They are all working so hard tonight. We've got Jackson making sure our live stream is working. Our engineer, Shango, just had to drive out to Lakeland to reboot our transmitter. We are now back on air on WATN, so a big thank you to him and a big thank you to the folks out back in the booth working with us. I know you see Danielle and I, but there's about 10 other folks here in the building helping to keep you safe as well. Julie's one of those. She's got a camera right now down near Oxford. This is right there kind of on the square at Lamar and University. This is not far from the Lyric. I've seen many a good concert at the Lyric. I don't know if there's one tonight, but that's just kind of getting your bearings straight. This is not far from Town Square, where kind of everything happens in Oxford. You see the lightning starting to come down. I'm hoping that's grabbing people's attention because, like Danielle mentioned, we've all been in college before. I've been in college during tornadoes, and even as a meteorology major, I didn't really want to focus on that on a Friday night. So shoot them a text, let them know wherever they are, they need to find somewhere to be. It's a little too late now to be driving around, finding a better place to go. You need to find a better place wherever you are. You need to seek shelter now in that tornado safe place. That tornado warning has now been extended to include the rest of Lafayette County. I don't know exactly how long it's going to go to. I'm going to guess until about 9:30 now for the rest of Lafayette County. So Oxford now, the entire community and most of Lafayette County under a tornado warning until 9:30. What that means is a lot of folks now are going to be getting more phone alerts. So if you're just tuning in
sirens
and you're just joining us,
there.
sirens are going off, which is good. And that's what sirens are meant for. Sirens are not meant to wake you up in the middle of the night. They're meant for folks that are walking around the square, getting a bite to eat, going out for a late night drink. It gets their attention, and then they can turn on their phone or their TV and get some new information. Danielle, if you could respond to Mike in the chat and just give him an update on that Summer and Highland flooding that we saw. Okay. Just want to pass that along. The Weather Service always asks for reports. I want to make sure we got that passed along to them. We did have that reports over. Oh, Jackson will do it. Okay, thank you, Jackson. Appreciate that.
There's a new bulletin about the tornado warning.
Yeah, and that's that new box. So Danielle, if you want to read that, this is that new box that you see there. While you do that, if y'all want to take both of us on screen, I can keep the storm track up.
Yeah, because he's got the good information there.
Yeah.
So this is a new tornado warning, and it is for Lafayette and Marshall counties. This is a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near Springdale. We've been talking about Springdale, Trevor, for a while, or near Water Valley, moving northeast at 50 miles an hour. Radar indicated hail as well. So here's a look at what I've been looking at as well. This has definitely been showing a good hail signature in that area. So not only are we looking at high winds and heavy rainfall falling right now near the Oxford area, but we are also looking at some possible strong, severe sized hail as well. So definitely a lot to unpack here. We all know that there's a lot of people that at least live in the Oxford area, not including those students that will be going to Ole Miss, but this storm is definitely a strong one. And I know we keep taking that same TDOT camera. You're not really seeing. You're like, hey, that's not much going on, but it's headed that way. They kind of drew this box downstream just a little bit. The basis of the storm is right here on your screen, so a little bit west a little bit of Oxford, Mississippi, but it's going to be headed that way. And we've been tracking this thing since it started, and it was barely clipping Quitman County, headed towards Batesville, and we knew that in Oxford that this was going to be a storm that was cause for concern at the very least. Once again, I want to take a look at our wind speeds and see what we're looking like, because at one point 85-mile-an-hour winds, that is some serious stuff, folks. Unfortunately, that would definitely blow down some trees, cause power outages, make very dangerous driving conditions. So we can't stress this enough. Make sure that you are in that safe place, or at least in a place that you can hunker down for at least the next hour or 2 hours as well. Here's a look at our wind speeds right now. It just updated, so that's good news. We are seeing the winds die down just a little bit. I think we just went off the air of ABC once again. So I know we are struggling, but we're going to stay on Facebook and our app. This is another great time to go ahead and download our app and make sure that you have multiple ways to get communication. We go ahead and show that on our screen. It's free in the App Store as well on Google Play. You can text app to 901-321-7520. Trevor, what do you got over there?
Here's what I want to do for now. From here on out for the next couple of minutes, I want to keep us in these boxes, switch one of us out, and keep that Lamar and University camera up in the other one, because I want to keep an eye on Oxford as this storm rolls in. So from here on out, until we say otherwise, just leave us just like this, because I want to keep an eye on that Lamar and University camera, and we could pop in and out just a little bit. But what I want to show you is there's Ole Miss, there's Oxford. This is our main area of rotation right here, that red dot. So this is now moving directly in to Oxford, and Lamar and University is going to be right in there, pretty close to downtown Oxford. So this is going to be there within a matter of moments. Again, this is a tornado warning that is in effect for the city of Oxford and the campus of Ole Miss until 9:30. This likely, if this is a tornado, we don't have any confirmation. Thank God we do not have confirmation that this is a tornado on the ground. Let's pray now that it is not. Right now, this is a radar indication that there is rotation in the clouds that could very quickly produce a tornado. Right now, it does not look like there is an official tornado on the ground. That can happen at any moment. And again, this is going to be in Oxford and on the campus of Ole Miss within a matter of moments. Very high BTI still, 4.4. That basically means on a scale of 1 to 10, the likelihood of this being a tornado on the ground right now is a 4.4. That's a 44% chance. I don't like those odds. So Oxford, you really, really need to be in your tornado safe place right now. Shear still very high at 92 miles an hour. And this is zooming to the northeast. It's going to be in Oxford and Ole Miss within a matter of 5 or 6 minutes. I'm watching the camera over here. It's starting to kind of bob a little bit. We're getting some winds here. We have another camera that I think we can show also that's also just down the road. And this one might be a better one to stick on because this is a little further down, 278. So this is going to get you a better view as the storm first approaches. And then we can switch back to that Lamar and University. So this is 278 and near Jackson, coming into Ole Miss and the campus of Ole Miss and the city of Oxford within the next 5 minutes. So if you're watching us at a bar in downtown Oxford, I know y'all are out there right now. You really need to be in your safe place right now. If you don't know where that is, a bathroom or a closet in the middle portion of your home, you want to stay away from windows, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible, and cover your head. It sounds silly, but if you've got a bicycle helmet, a pillow, anything you can do to put on top of your head, that is going to be your best bet. Just in a worst case scenario. Again, right now it doesn't look like this is a confirmed tornado, but it's a strong enough signature that in a matter of moments we could have that tornado touchdown. All right, just for a quick time, I do want to take me back full screen, and I'm going to zoom into some streets here and get kind of a better view of where this rotation is. Let's get ready to go back to those boxes just at a moment if we need to.
Hey, real
Danielle, go
quick,
ahead.
there is a structure fire in Lafayette County right now, and that would be in the 900 block of County Road 251. So that's probably lightning related in that area, Trevor.
You hate to see that. Okay. Yep. And we hope it's not a home. Maybe it's a shed or something like that, an outbuilding. But thoughts going out to them. Yeah, structure fire in the 900 block of County Road 251. Units are just now getting on scene, but possibly lightning related. So I do want to give you an update here on where this rotation is. Let me go back over to the Columbus radar and that area of rotation. That's going to give us a little bit of a better view. So there's that possible rotation now pretty much over Oxford. You can see it right now. Let's go back to the boxes. Okay, let's go back to the boxes, and we're going to stay on this for just a little bit. Possible tornado now right over Oxford and the city of the campus of Ole Miss and the city of Oxford. Let's take this camera full, this MDOT camera. I don't like people driving around in this. As soon as we can get this camera over here, let's just take it full screen because even if there's not a tornado in here, the winds are going to be something crazy. And you can see that they are. Again, as soon as we can get this camera full screen, let's just go ahead and take it full for at least a couple of seconds. Here we go. So you can see the wind. So this is, again, Jackson at University in downtown Oxford, where the bars are, where undoubtedly there is a good bit of college kids out having a drink, enjoying their college years, having a good time. They're dealing with this severe weather tonight. And luckily, what we're not seeing is catastrophic damage. All right, if you are watching on CW30, I want to welcome you to CW30 News at 9. Tonight, the news is weather. We are watching the potential of some severe weather rolling through the Mid-South. Tornado warning has been issued now for Lafayette and parts of Marshall County. That's the little boot heel of Marshall County, Mississippi. That is going to go until 9:30. But again, you're taking a live view in Oxford where that possible circulation is moving over. Glad to see that things are not blowing around too badly. The traffic lights are staying on their arms, so that is good. No major concerns there. The winds are, again, fierce. You don't want to be outside in this, but not seeing a tornado. Winds are picking up a little bit there, but again, that most serious area of rotation now looks like maybe it's just to the east of Oxford along 278 near Brittany Woods, Rolling Woods, and then moving down to the east. So again, that tornado warning is going to continue here for the next little bit. Let's switch over to the velocity mode. I just want to check this out. Not the best view there. And you'll bear with me, I just kind of have to investigate this. I know y'all don't like to see this, these colors. It just looks kind of funky to you. But what you're seeing is the reds are going away from the radar. That's winds going away from the radar. For this one, we are looking from the Memphis radar site. So if you're in Oxford, the reds are going this way. Greens are coming this way. The brighter the color, the stronger the winds. So there is definitely an area of circulation there to the east of Oxford now, east of 7, east of 9, on 278, moving off to the east. Let's go back to our shear product and we'll give you a better idea of kind of that bull's eye right there. If there is a tornado, it is going to be down to the east of Oxford. So with that being said, let's take this back full screen, the radar view, and myself full screen, because it looks like Oxford's doing okay. That's why I wanted to keep that up. Oxford is hanging on. That's good. It does not look like we had a tornado touchdown, at least in downtown Oxford, but still good signs of rotation. And in this case, unfortunately, when I say good, I mean not so good. All right, I got a lot of junk on your screen. Bear with me. This is your storm track area of rotation near Potts Camp by 9:18, Hickory Flat by 9:20. Thank you, Stuart, getting that banner off the screen. I know I've got a lot of boxes up here, so bear with me. Pretty much what you're looking at, again, that's the storm track, New Albany and Union County by 5:24, Blue Mountain and Blue Mountain College by 9:27, and then Ashland, if this storm holds together, possibly by 9:30. Still seeing good signs of shear, 92-mile-an-hour winds circulating around in there. The potential of some hail, and again, a BTI of 4.0. That is a scale of 1 to 10, the likelihood of this being a tornado. That's come down a little bit. Hopefully, it will continue to do so. But again, the Weather Service also agreeing with pretty much just what I was saying, that that is starting to kind of broaden out a little bit. And by broadening out, it means that the rotation is not quite as strong. We love good news at ABC 24. I want to give that to you while we have some. The tornado watch has been canceled for Memphis and the Memphis metro area. Here's your alert map. We can pop this back up full screen. This is my favorite time of the night. I get to give you an all clear. If you are worried about the storms, here's who's done. Eastern Arkansas, you are all clear from the threat of severe weather. Much of western Tennessee is now clear. Shelby County and Memphis clear from the severe weather threat. Fayette County, Haywood, Tipton, Lauderdale, Crockett, and Dyer, you're clear from the severe weather threat. DeSoto, Tate, Tunica, and Coahoma in Mississippi, you're also clear of the severe weather threat. We are still concerned about the rest of northern Mississippi, also Hardeman and McNairy County in Tennessee. Now, once that main line of storms move out, we've still got very strong winds behind those storms that are going to continue for the next little bit, 30 to 40 miles an hour, but it is promising to see that those storms are moving out, and luckily they are moving out with a quickness. Quickly, and then Danielle, I'll come back over to you. I do just want to give one more wide view. I know folks kind of like to see what's going on. Not everybody's watching in Oxford. I understand that. This is that main line of thunderstorms we're still watching from Henderson, Tennessee, coming into Selmer. Selmer, you've got about 10 or 15 minutes. Bolivar, the worst is now past you. Ashland, it is pretty much right on top of you now. Also down to Holly Springs. Red Banks, the worst is past you. Pretty much right on top of Oxford and Batesville, but it's all moving off to the east. So anybody past this line, again, all of eastern Arkansas, Memphis, DeSoto County, the Delta, and a good chunk of western Tennessee now clear from that severe weather threat, unfortunately, again, we still do have that tornado warning that is working for Lafayette County in Mississippi until 9:30. It does look like some good news that the worst of the rotation has cleared Oxford, and I'm not hearing any reports of damage. That is some great news. We'll check our debris mode, and we've got some fuzziness in here. That just kind of looks like some interference with the radar. I'm not too concerned about that. Pretty much what I'm looking for now, and again, a bucket of spilled paint. I understand, I know this doesn't make sense, and I'm sorry that I have to show it, but it's pretty much just a way for me to make sure that a tornado did not touch down and throw anything up in the air, and the radar can pick that up. Pretty much with what I'm seeing, I can pretty much determine that we did not have a tornado touch down and cause serious damage. So that is some good news, but still some very strong winds. It does look like, again, the worst of that has passed Oxford, but if you live east of Oxford on 278, I still need you in your tornado safe place as that storm continues to march off to the east. All right, Danielle, what are you tracking over there?
I'm taking a look at the severe thunderstorm warning that is moving through McNairy County right now. Here's a look at that. That does not expire until around 9:45. That's one thing that we have not really talked about lately, is that there are still a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for West Tennessee. So Lexington at 9:19 p.m., Wildersville at 9:27 p.m., Parsons at 9:32 p.m. This is for a severe thunderstorm warning that is moving northeast at around 63 miles an hour. So things are definitely still picking up. The BTI is around 2.8, so that's not really showing us real, strength per se. However, definitely still a strong storm. This is still a storm that came through. It traveled all the way across our viewing area and through the metro Memphis area as well. Downpours, definitely heard that. Even some possible small hail. You can see that radar scan just updated. The good news is about these storms is that they are moving very fast. So you might hear the little rainfall. You might hear some thunder outside. You might be seeing some lightning flashes. However, the storm moving very, very fast. Now, if we take a look at our entire viewing area and what we are anticipating, the worst of the storm is definitely moving through North Mississippi right now. And that is for that tornado warning. If I move it up just a little bit so we can see it a little bit better, this is encompassing Lafayette County right now. That storm still seems to be at least producing some high winds at the very least. I have been keeping my eye on it, and possible hail involved with this storm as well. So that's a little bit concerning. I know a lot of people just not much you can do about a hail threat other than move your car inside. And if you haven't done it at this point, unfortunately, it's probably a little bit too late. But I'm gonna put another track on this storm for us. So Hickory Flat at 9:20 p.m., Myrtle at 9:21 p.m., New Albany at 9:24 p.m., Blue Mountain at 9:27, Ripley at 9:31, and Dumas at 9:33, and Faulkner at 9:37 p.m. So this storm still very strong. You can see this red on your screen. That shows us that there's some high winds involved in this as well. So even though we did not see a possible tornado involved with this as it crossed through Oxford, it's still got some very high winds involved in it. So if you do know anyone that lives in this area, or if you live in that area, you definitely want to make sure that you're in your safe place at this time. Once again, Hickory Flat at 9:20 p.m. So you got about 19-20 minutes to get there. Myrtle at 9:21, New Albany at 9:24, Blue Mountain at 9:27, Ripley at 9:31, Dumas at 9:33, and Faulkner at 9:37. This is saying that it's moving around 83 miles an hour. That's why this storm system is moving very, very fast, because we're definitely seeing things develop very fast. We got on the air probably around 7, and in the last 2 hours, we have been seeing things kind of progressively take motion northeast and get out of our viewing area. I want to see exactly if maybe it is picking up on some possible hail. Which that's not too bad, but the rain rate is about 2 inches an hour, so heavy downpours moving through Lafayette County, Mississippi right now. That is definitely some heavy rainfall, maybe even some possible streets could be flooding, especially if you live in a flood-prone area. Definitely a cause for concern there. We take a look at some of our wind speeds in that area. What can we expect for our wind speeds? We have been seeing them kind of die down. When we first started talking about this one specific storm, we were seeing wind speeds maybe picking up around 83 miles an hour. That was radar indicated, but now it's around 45 miles an hour. But that's nothing to take lightly. Just because it has died down around 40 miles an hour, the winds are still very, very high in that area. So definitely still keeping our eye on this storm. So it says that right now, the National Weather Service is looking at the circulation over Cambridge, which means it will be clear of Lafayette, which is good, in about 5 to 7 minutes. That's what we like to see. All across the Mid-South, we're starting to see things kind of get a little bit better. We're seeing them scale back our tornado watch. I know it was in effect until midnight, but the good news is we don't have to wait to midnight for some places, especially here in the metro Memphis area. Now, we do have a few flash flood warnings. The good thing is it's not for our viewing area per se, but for Obion County. Great news here as I'm clicking on a few things to take a better look. We were seeing a lot of hail path with this as it was traveling northeast, but as you can see now, not much pink on your screen, which is good news. That means this storm is kind of settling down just a little bit. So both the hail risk dwindling down as well as the high wind risk dwindling down just a little bit. I know we keep taking a look at our possible debris detector. We're not seeing anything in that area as well, which is good news. We like to see when things kind of calm down, even though this tornado warning is still in effect for Lafayette County until 9:30 tonight. So we have around 20 more minutes to talk about this. And I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of extended and continue to go north towards Ripley. And as you can see, our newest track at Hickory Flat at 9:30 p.m. as well as Myrtle and New Albany at 9:34 and Blue Mountain at 9:39 p.m. So this is going to head straight up north, headed towards Ripley, Tennessee as well. That's still part of our viewing area. So I wouldn't be surprised if they went ahead and extended that as well. Here's another look. Let's take a look at our possible power outages across the Mid-South. You can see 16,000 people here in the metro Memphis area, maybe without power. 900 customers in Panola County, Mississippi. That's where we were seeing very high lightning strikes in that area. Around 300 customers in Quitman County, 200 customers in Haywood County. And the storm, just for reference, is headed right along this line here. So Benton, Hardeman, McNary, Tippah, and Alcorn, even though you don't have any power outages just yet, that does not mean that you need to let your guard down by any means. Here's another look at our severe weather alerts. Once again, Trevor just showed you this, but this is what we're looking at for our current tornado watch. So multiple places still included in that tornado watch. McNary, Alcorn, Tippah, Hardeman, and Benton, you guys haven't even seen the worst of it yet, unfortunately. So just make sure that you are keeping your guard up. In fact, let's take a little bit of a look of see exactly what we can anticipate for the rest of tonight. This is a look at our future cast. So what can you anticipate throughout the next few hours? You can see 11 o'clock p.m. still things kind of winding down, but over the next few hours by 1 a.m. we will be completely dry. I mean, completely dry. So that means that the severe weather threat for the entire Mid-South should be over at least in the next 2.5 hours. I know that seems like it's going to be quite some time, but it's really not. This storm system has been moving very, very fast. I've been keeping my eye on it pretty much all evening. I saw it develop as it was moving through Arkansas. We saw a lot of tornado warnings in that area, and we have seen a few here, but not as many as I saw in Arkansas. Here's a better look at our entire viewing area. What can we expect? There's still this tornado warning ongoing for Lafayette County, and there is also a severe thunderstorm warning until 9:45 tonight. Trevor, what are you looking at over there?
Hey, I was going to talk about that heavy rain. You mentioned the flash flood warnings. We've had a good bit of rain, and there are some streets that are flooded out and about around Memphis. Here's a look at those rainfall totals. Here in Memphis, we've got about 1 inch of rain, 2.5 inches in Wynn, up toward Blytheville, about the same, 2 inches in Dyersburg, 2.5 inches in Ripley. So that flash flood warning is in effect for the Memphis Metro for the next couple of hours. So if you are going to be out driving around, even though the storms are past, that heavy rain is going to continue. And of course, Corinth, Ripley, you haven't even seen the rain yet. It is just now coming into you. Same story in Selmer. I did want to give kind of a wide view of what it looks like around town and kind of around the area. If you are just joining us, we've got some good news to provide. Things are starting to move out, but we got a little bit more to go. I will say again, eastern Arkansas, you're clear of any severe weather threat. Metro Memphis, including DeSoto County and Crittenden County, you are clear of that severe weather threat. The areas we're really going to be watching is Selmer, Corinth, Ripley, even Oxford. Things are starting to wind down. So it's really, I've got about 3 counties I'm going to keep an eye on. That is going to be Tippah, Alcorn, and McNairy. Hopefully by 10 p.m. we can get this completely out of the area, at least the severe weather threat. We will have some rain and wind that will continue, but the worst of the weather looks to be winding down here by 10 p.m. We still have about 45 minutes to go. If you're in Ripley or Corinth, Selmer, we want to find a good place to stay inside. We don't have any tornado warnings up there. We do have severe thunderstorm warnings that are in effect for the gusty winds up to 60 miles an hour. But the only tornado warning now is in Lafayette County. And I did want to provide some good news there. I've been getting a lot of pictures of my friends watching down in Oxford. So there are folks listening down there. So I do want to provide an update down there. If you're in the city of Oxford, if you're on the campus of Ole Miss, the threat of a tornado has passed you. The worst of the weather is done. It's now moved off to the east. Still some trouble on Highway 278. I would not be driving between Oxford and Tupelo tonight on 278. But if you are in the city of Oxford, I can give you the all clear from that threat of a tornado. Now the warning continues for areas east of Oxford until 9:30. But as far as the campus of Ole Miss and the city of Oxford, you are all clear from that weather threat. Again, lots of lightning, a good bit of a heavy rain there on Highway 278 east of Oxford. I want to check our rotation in there and just kind of give a better idea of how things are looking. Is the rotation still significant? And this is one of those products that I know it doesn't make any sense to you. It's just a little confusing. We've got a couple of areas of spin here. One coming into Union County. That'll be crossing I-22 near Myrtle and could eventually be an issue for southern Tippah County. We've got another little area along 278 on the east side of Oxford. That one not quite as impressive, at least not for now, but it's that area there that I'm really going to be keeping an eye on here for the next little bit. This mode might clean it up a little bit, and there you can see kind of those 2 separate areas of rotation moving off to the east. This is kind of one of those tricky times where the storm is going to leave our official ABC 24 area of people that can watch us and then come back in. So Union County here, where New Albany is, that is technically a part of the Columbus, Mississippi and Tupelo, Mississippi television market. So folks on cable and satellite out here don't get us, but as the storm moves off to the north and east, it's gonna come back into Tippah County, and those are the folks that do get us on cable and satellite. So we're gonna kind of jump over one county here. We'll keep an eye on it. I know we've got some over-the-air folks that might be watching there in Union County. So we're not forgetting about you, but we just cannot provide you that more detailed coverage. That's going to fall to the Tupelo TV station down there. But as that moves off to the north and east, still going to watch southern Tippah County for some signs of rotation. No warning yet. Right now that warning is going to continue for far eastern Lafayette County. You saw they trimmed it back just a little bit. It now does not include Oxford. That's what I was just saying. Oxford, you're clear of the weather threat. It's pretty much right there along the Union, Pontotoc, and Lafayette County line. Possible tornado located near Etta, 7 miles west of New Albany and moving northeast at an incredible speed of about 70 miles an hour. These storms are not kidding around. They're moving. Let me tell you what, again, that's going to put it back into our area around Blue Mountain by 9:45. That BTI still on the high side with about a 39% chance of this thing putting a tornado on the ground right now. Other than that, though, that's really the only major concern. Some very strong winds now up in McNairy County and Selmer. But things are starting to improve just a little bit. Like I said, I do believe by 10 p.m. things will be looking a lot better. I think we can give everybody the complete all clear by 10:30 at the absolute latest. But definitely some good winds in here. Even without the threat of a tornado, you take that out of the picture, this line of storms, it's starting to clear Ashland a little bit, but it's just coming into Ripley and Corinth, also into Selmer. You've got the wind, the heavy rain, and the lightning. Good news is things are winding down in Memphis. Still got some gusty winds, but the rain is starting to slack off just a little bit. Those are those areas we're still watching, but we don't want to forget we do technically have an active tornado warning for parts of Lafayette County. Danielle's been keeping a close eye on that while I've been running my trap. So let's get back over to Danielle, and she's got more details on what is going on down there in Lafayette County. We know Oxford is clear, but what's going on now?
Right. So I've been looking at some of our threat trackers. I'm definitely still dealing with that hail threat that is continued with this storm. The good news is that we've seen the hail size kind of go down. I know one time that we came to me, it was around an inch size hail, but now things are looking a little bit better, which is good news. However, this storm is still very, very strong. So I don't want anyone to take anything away from that. This storm is definitely very, very strong as it continues to move, and the tornado warning does not expire until 9:30 tonight. So I want to see if we can get a little bit better idea. Some of these spots, these little bright pink spots on your screen showing 1 inch hail right near Myrtle. So if you have not gotten to your safe place just yet and you are in Myrtle, you definitely want to get into that area at this time. Definitely still some strong storms moving through the area. We also were looking at heavy rainfall at times with this storm. As you can take a look here, maybe even 2 inches per hour. And in fact, the National Weather Service was just talking about maybe issuing a flash flood. Yeah, there's a flash flood warning for Lafayette and Panola until 12:30 in the morning. So the heavy rainfall, like Trevor was saying, the severe threat will be clear in around 45 minutes. However, that doesn't mean that the rain is going to stop. The rain will continue, and we've gotten so much rain in this one area in Lafayette County as well as in Panola County that is definitely a cause for concern across the Mid-South. I'm going to put a little bit of we call these little pixel queries so we can see exactly how high the winds are, especially in the very bright portions there, around maybe 51 miles an hour, 55 miles an hour. So that's not too bad, still very strong. And as that update went through, it just showed 29 miles an hour. So like I said, the winds are calming just a little bit, but this is still a very strong system, folks. So if you know anyone that is living in that area, you definitely want to make sure that you're weather aware. Now, the National Weather Service did just issue a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible for Alcorn and Tippah Counties. So this is the same storm system. They just decided, you know what, we're going to go with a severe thunderstorm warning instead of a tornado warning, which is good news. However, the tornado warning is still in effect, and that is going to be going until 9:30. Now, they might cancel a little bit early because it is 9:22. And we will keep our eye on it. But here's a look at the radar so that you can see exactly what we are talking about. I'll zoom out just a little bit. So this new severe thunderstorm warning, it does include Tippah County. It's headed towards Corinth, as well as Ripley. The heavy rainfall might not have arrived just yet at your doorstep, but it is definitely on the way. You definitely want to make sure that you're being very weather aware in that regard. Let's see if we can put some new storm tracks on there for you. Here we go. Myrtle at 9:25 p.m. Blue Mountain at 9:31 p.m., Dumas at 9:35 p.m., Ripley as well at 9:35 p.m., Jumpertown at 9:43 p.m., Boonville at 9:46 p.m., Kossuth at 9:48 p.m., and Renzi at 9:49 p.m. So the storm is still very, very strong at this time, and our radar is showing that it could be moving upwards of 87 miles an hour in some places. Here's another storm track for you. Definitely this whole entire line is continuing to push northeast. So that's why we keep clicking around to see exactly what we're looking at. But you can see severe, it's moving east, northeast at around 87 miles an hour. And that hail has definitely been something that I've been keeping my eye on because it's been a cause for concern for me. And the good news is right now we haven't heard of any storm damage at all. Here's a look at our hail tracker. So as you can see, I'll zoom out just a little bit so we can see a little bit better. That pink on your screen shows the path this storm has really been taking as it came through Panola County where Batesville is, through Oxford, and now it's headed towards New Albany and Ripley and Corinth and near Boonville, and that is near Highway 45. It's about to cross I-22 there right near New Albany. Still very heavy rainfall in that area. Here we go, tree on a house on the 100 block of County Road at 104 in Lafayette County. So those winds were definitely high. I know one time we clicked on it and it showed that it was 85-mile-an-hour winds. So definitely anticipating maybe some at least more power outages in North Mississippi at the very least. But that is very concerning. I'll keep my eye and monitor our chat to make sure that we're not seeing any more storm damage, but that is definitely our first report other than some trees falling down in Poinsett County. But this is a tree on a house in Lafayette County. So definitely want to make sure, check on your people. If you're in Lafayette County, make sure that everyone is okay. This is definitely a kind of a scary system as it moves through because it's happening so fast. So if you weren't really in your safe place, you want to make sure that you're in it now, especially if you have not gotten towards the storm just yet. I know it's a very busy screen for us tonight, and it's been a very busy night for us here in the Mid-South, but we're devoted to making sure that you guys are okay and that you remain safe. That's our number one concern for any of our viewers, whether you are online or watching us. Here's a look at some possible shear moving through New Albany. So definitely this storm isn't quite weak enough yet to cancel that tornado warning, but they did go with a severe thunderstorm warning in place of that. So that's good news there. But Trevor, we've been seeing a lot happening with this one storm system in Oxford and Lafayette County. And as it continues to push northeast, it's definitely something that, you know, is worth to continue watching, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. And I was actually just going to kind of talk on to that because we're getting to a time where some things are going to be changing here in the next little bit, because at 9:30, that tornado warning is slated to expire. That tornado warning that includes eastern Lafayette County. So we've got about 5 more minutes. Technically, that is a time that we would then leave you, because we don't have any active tornado warnings and we don't have any active severe thunderstorm warnings for Memphis. But because we are so close to this being out of here, and because of the seriousness of the situation that we are seeing, I think by 9:45 or 10, this will be done either way. So here's what I think we're going to do. And back in the booth, if you want to do this, let me know. I think we'll probably just cover up the rest of CW30 News at 9. And we'll continue streaming on the website. And then we can send ABC back to regular programming at 9:30 in about 4 minutes. And of course, we will hop back on if a situation is threatening enough. But I'm going to stay on channel 30. So if you want to find us on CW30, we will continue our coverage there. We would normally be scheduled to be doing our newscast anyway, and it doesn't make sense to me to just start it halfway in the middle. So we're just going to continue with that through 10 o'clock. I think by 10 o'clock, we will be in better shape. And then Rudy's very excited that he does not have to do his newscast. He is packing his belongings. You are welcome, Rudy. I'll take my cash tip later for getting you out of here a little sooner. But then hopefully by 10 p.m. We can get things out of here. We'll be in a little bit of better shape. And then with any luck, we can do ABC 24 News at 10 o'clock as regularly scheduled. So that's just kind of our housekeeping note there. We will prepare to send ABC back to regular programming in about 3 minutes from now. Stand by for my cue from that. But it does look like for now that tornado threat has wound down a little bit. Again, we're still watching a few counties here. We're watching McNairy County and Selmer, Alcorn County and Corinth, and still some very heavy rain and wind in Ripley and Tippah County. But for right now, this is moving really quickly. Like Danielle said, 60 to 70 miles an hour. So think how quickly you can drive from Ashland to Corinth. It doesn't take that long, maybe about 30 or 45 minutes, and then it's already past Ashland by a long shot. So hopefully here soon. Again, we'll just stay with you here for the next 30 minutes on CW30 and on the live stream. I've been getting a lot of messages of people saying that the live stream has been helpful. So I don't want to desert Corinth just because they're not technically under a tornado warning. So we're just going to stay with this and hang out for a little bit longer. Hopefully that tornado warning can drop soon, but you can see the times, Kossuth by, and everybody pronounces that differently, by the way. I used to work down in that area. There's Kossuth, there's Kossuth. I probably need to check with a local to figure out exactly the pronunciation, but you know where I'm talking about. You'll bear with me. I'll call the post office. That's what we usually do. That's the best way because post office knows how to say the town name. We'll check in with them and get that actual pronunciation. Corinth, we know how to say that. 9:41 is when that is going to be with the strongest rain and the strongest wind into your area. But for now, Memphis, the rain is done. The winds are still a little breezy out there, but that severe weather threat is over. The severe weather threat is pretty much over for everybody except for let's say McNairy, Alcorn, Tippah Counties, Lafayette. It's clearing from you. And again, within the next minute, we will be able to get things back in better shape. It is just a little bit out of our area. It's in Pontotoc, but just to show you kind of what the storm has done as it moved out of Oxford, a tree and a power line down across Highway 9 South at Hope Lane in Pontotoc. So that's going to be kind of to the south and east of Oxford. Highway 9, of course, joins with 7 and then splits off of Oxford to meet up with 45 alternate. I'll be driving down there in about 2 hours from now for a weather conference in Starkville. So I know that area well, and you know where I'm talking about along Highway 9. So some trees down there. You probably don't want to take that route. But again, this is moving out pretty quickly. Still some very strong winds, though, in Ripley, Corinth, and Selmer. Everybody else starting to wrap up. Batesville, you've got some heavy rain, but it doesn't look like that storm is producing any severe weather. Okay, it does look like it is 9:30 now. Correct me if I'm wrong, I do believe that tornado warning was slated to expire at 9:30. So as soon as that drops off our map, we will send ABC 24 back to regularly scheduled programming here, hopefully in just a couple of seconds. Again, if you're watching on ABC 24, switch over to channel 30 if you want weather coverage. We're also streaming live on abc24.com. You can watch us on the ABC 24 Plus app for Roku and Fire TV. We're going to be on there for at least the next 30 minutes. And of course, we will be back for ABC 24 News at 10 p.m. But for now, we're going to stay on CW30. We will send ABC 24 back to your regularly scheduled programming. We'll see you back here in 30 minutes. All right, we're going to continue our coverage now on CW30 as we continue to track this intense line of thunderstorms. We're also streaming on Facebook, YouTube, all the other good stuff. All right, only on CW30 now, so that is some good news there. Welcome to our CW30 audience still watching us. No tornado warnings right now. We do still have a severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect for southern Tippah and Alcorn counties. That warning is going to go until 10 p.m. So that's why I say by 10 p.m. things will be looking much better as that line of thunderstorms rolls on out of here. We haven't zoomed in a while. We've been too busy talking about that housekeeping stuff, so we'll zoom on in. Danielle, I hope you've got some good news over there, maybe?
Yep, I do.
Good.
So I wanted to give everyone kind of a broader look at our severe weather threats right now, because we've been watching this. We've been seeing some of our counties cleared out, like for instance, Shelby and DeSoto and Tate County and Fayette counties. You are no longer into that tornado watch. However, I'll step off the screen so you can see it a little bit better. Madison, Hardeman, McNairy, Alcorn, and Tippah counties, you guys are still in that tornado watch. But the good news is they have canceled that tornado warning that was in Lafayette County. They have said went with a cluster of severe thunderstorm warnings, which that speaks volumes. That means that storm is not as strong, still very severe. Those winds could definitely still push over some trees, but we're not looking at a possible tornado, which is good news. Again, here's a look at our power outages because the winds have been so very high, and now we're getting reports of trees over, power lines down as well, especially in that North Mississippi area in Lafayette County. Shelby County still has 16,000 customers without power. Now, it's very important that you know it's customers and households, not individuals. So that really could mean more people if you have 3 or 4 people living in a household. That could be more than 16,000 people. Haywood County, you all have around 200 customers, as well as DeSoto County. In Panola County, 1,000 customers. That's significant in Panola County that 1,000 customers are without power right now. And that's from that storm that went through. So you know what that tells me? That Lafayette County, even though it says 100 customers without power, I am definitely anticipating that number will probably also be increased as well. Hey, here's another little piece of good news. Here's a look at our new severe weather outlook. We are no longer in a level 4. You have to take win when you can get a win. So we are in a level 3 for the rest of us that are still dealing with this storm system that's still moving through right now. But you can see Cross County kind of out of the area of being underneath that severe thunderstorm warning or any kind of warnings at all. So they've taken you out of the severe risk altogether, which is great news. The rest of us are still in a level 3. If you haven't gotten any rain at your house just yet, for instance, if you're in Corinth or in Selmer, definitely want to make sure that you're being very weather aware because you are not in the clear just yet. Here's another look at something that we've been keeping our eye on, our wind alerts. We still have that wind advisory in effect until 3 a.m. Now, that's because our winds are going to continue to be high overnight and into your Saturday morning. So if you have any early morning Saturday plans, expect it to be a little bit windy. At least it will be dry, but that also means that more trees could still continue to blow over, especially with our rainfall rates. Here's something that we haven't really taken a look at either is our flash flood watch and our flash flood warning. So we already knew that Cross, Poinsett, Mississippi counties in Arkansas and Dyer County in Tennessee were under that flash flood watch. But you can see this highlighter green color. That is a flash flood warning. And yes, there is one for Shelby as well as DeSoto County. The significant storm that went through Panoa and Lafayette County, definitely still dealing with that flash flood warning as well. So a lot to unpack here right now here in the Mid-South. So things are winding down, but some of us are still dealing with some of the storm damage. Here's a look at our current winds outside right now. Take a look at Covington. 23-mile-an-hour winds right now. That is very high winds. That's not including your wind gusts, exactly what that's happening. Corinth, Mississippi, 22-mile-an-hour winds. In Corinth, that storm is headed your way. So definitely want to make sure that you are being very weather aware as well. Let's go back to our radar to see what's going on. I'm going to do a quick reset so we can see the entire viewing area. I was taking a look at that storm that was to the south of us, Trevor, because that is a confirmed tornado. The good news is it looks like it's going to continue to pass eastward, but definitely significant tornado, been on the ground for quite some time. But here's a look at our entire viewing area. You can see most of us almost in the clear. There are still a few severe thunderstorm warnings still out there, so that's normal for this time of the year. It is the springtime. Heavy rainfall, high winds still going on, but as far as a tornado threat from about Oxford back off to the west, you are pretty much done with the tornado threat for sure. Heavy rainfall could be continuing in some places, but the good news is that we're really not seeing much tornado activity at all. I think that they're probably going to continue with these severe thunderstorm warnings in that area because the storm has kind of been settling down just a little bit. But I tell you what, you hear all those dings in the background from our microphone. There's a lot of trees, fences down. We haven't really gotten an update on what happened in Lafayette County with the tree on the home, but these winds are very, very high. And that was our number one concern with this system, is that the winds would be very, very high. And I think Trevor has a little bit more on that, right, Trevor?
Yeah, I just had a video that just came in from a viewer down in Oxford. This is just south of Oxford, I do believe, as that storm came through. At the time, it had a tornado warning on it. Luckily, we don't have a report that a tornado actually touched down in Oxford, but the winds were something else. And the lightning, you were just talking about that, how even if you don't have a tornado, the winds can still be crazy. And it was crazy out there. We had the lightning, the gusty winds, some reports of damage out there. But luckily, no major reports of damage, anything like a tornado would cause in Oxford. Again, we are still with you because we've got some areas of heavy rain and damaging winds. It's pretty much winding down now in Selmer. Selmer, you've seen the worst of it. Same thing for Ripley. It's starting to wind down for you. Corinth, as usual, kind of our last holdout. You are seeing that line of storms right now. So that damaging wind coming into you right now. There you see a new tornado warning. That is to the south of our area. That's for northern Lee County, Prentiss County, Union County, even over to Itawamba and getting close to Tishomingo County in northeastern Mississippi. That looks like it is going to stay to the south of us. So that is some good news. But if you know anybody up near Saltillo, north of Tupelo, in New Albany, make sure they are in their tornado safe place. Again, that's going to be coming into Itawamba County. We've got some folks that play football down at ICC. They go to school there. So if you know anybody there, give them a call. That storm's headed their way, but it is not headed our way. And that is the good news. Again, damaging wind gusts, still a concern coming into Corinth. And what we'll do here is check out the wind speed as these storms get a little closer closer to the city of Corinth. And again, what you're looking at here, fuzzy colors, kind of gross, but it is just measuring how fast the winds are blowing inside of the storm. Let me switch to the Memphis radar. That's going to give us a bit of a better view. Not a great view. Unfortunately, Corinth is kind of in the middle of a no man's land. It's right between the Columbus, Mississippi radar and the Memphis radar. So not the best view from either, but we are getting estimates now of 50 to 60 mile an hour winds as that storm rolls in to the city of Corinth. Again, that severe thunderstorm warning is going to go until 10 p.m. Other than that, other than Corinth, we're not looking bad out there. Everybody else is starting to wind down a little bit. Corinth is really our only holdout. We don't have any tornado warnings in our coverage area. Again, one for Union and northern Lee County in northeastern Mississippi. But other than that, no major weather concerns. We are watching. I do want to give you an update. Danielle mentioned that storm just to the south of us, and I want to talk about that because we've got a really nasty storm, a very, very nasty storm to the south of us. This is near Winona, Mississippi, and nobody down here watches us, but I know we've got lots of friends and family down here. Eupora, we have a confirmed tornado on the ground causing damage near Winona. That's an exit on I-55. So if you're taking I-55 south tonight, you might run into this, and that's going to go for Webster and parts of, let's see, I'm trying to remember my counties down here. Webster and Grenada counties. I used to work down here, so I'm trying to pull that back from a few years ago. But I just want to give you that notice of a very strong storm down near Eupora and Webster County in Mississippi. That's going to stay north of Starkville and the Mississippi State campus. But if you know anybody in Clay County or Monroe County in North Mississippi, that's just a heads up for them. Luckily, we are not dealing with any of that in our area. All we have, which is still pretty significant, but it's not anything as significant as that. We've got the damaging wind gust and the heavy rain. Again, that's coming through Corinth here pretty soon. And then we'll be able to give everybody else the all clear. Memphis, we can already give you the all clear. Eastern Arkansas, you're clear. Western Tennessee, you're pretty much clear, save the southern portion of McNairy County. And that's going to be moving out of there pretty soon. But again, a really rough thunderstorm coming into Alcorn County. Tons of lightning coming along Highway 45 into Corinth and Rienzi, and eventually moving out of the area. It'll be into Tishomingo County and will not be our concern anymore. Still got some hail being reported in Union County. That's to the south of our area. Reports of trees down in Henderson County, Tennessee. Lots of stuff going on around the area. I don't have any major reports of damage from the Memphis metro area, but we do have that flooding. We've got a flash flood warning that is going to be in effect for a while. So if you are going to be out and about tonight, bear in mind it's going to be windy and there are going to be some flooded roads. So just keep an extra eye out for that. Again, we're pretty much with you now. We're just going to cover up the rest of CW30 News at 9. And then we will go into ABC 24 News at 10 as regularly scheduled, because I do believe by 10 o'clock we'll be able to give the all clear from a severe weather threat. But Corinth, one more heads up for you. Damaging winds and heavy rain coming into town right now. No tornado threat right now, but there is a ton of lightning with that storm. And again, the winds are a concern as well. Speaking of winds, we've had power outages across the area, now up to about 14,000 folks without power in Shelby County and Memphis. Other areas not seeing as bad of outages. Shelby County definitely the highest. So if you are going to be out, remember, if you see a flashing traffic light or a traffic light that's out, you've got to treat that as a four-way stop. So we talked about the wind, the power outages, heavy rain and flooding, also a concern. Meteorologist Danielle Moss just across the way. She's got an update on that heavy rain we've been seeing.
Yeah, that's right. I've been kind of keeping my eye on these flash flood warnings because they've issued some flood advisories. The rainfall has been really falling. And in fact, at one point we saw that it was falling at around 2 inches per hour. So that's another reason why we are seeing all of these trees kind of falling down. In fact, I just want to kind of go through the last 20 minutes of all of the reports that we've gotten of trees falling down, because it has definitely been very dramatic over the last 20 minutes as far as these reports coming in. Power lines are down as well as trees are down. So if you live in this area, Just because the rain is gone, or we are saying that you might be clear from the tornado threat, please don't leave your house right now, especially in North Mississippi, because you could be running over some power lines. Maybe some trees could be down as well. There's some power lines down in Carroll County. I know that's not technically in our viewing area, but still very, very significant. You can tell exactly how high those winds were in that area. Power lines down in Henderson County as well, and that is near Sand Ridge Road. There's been power outages and trees down in Fayette County. They said that the ditches on the side of the road were completely full and overflowing with rainfall. That's how heavy the rainfall was in Fayette County. We all know where Fayette County is. That is very, very close. That's our next door neighbor here in Shelby County. So definitely heavy rainfall in some areas. We've been hearing a lot of reports of trees down in Camden, Tennessee. Some of this is outside of our viewing area, but still very, very close. So what that's telling me is that we're probably going to start getting some more reports even here in the Metro Memphis area of some possible trees falling down, because this rainfall has been falling very, very fast. And on top of that, we've been seeing the winds be very high. So just normal physics here, whenever we have high winds blowing on a saturated ground, that just makes for things to topple over very, very easy, even as well as power lines and power poles. You definitely want to make sure that you are not in the way of emergency vehicles that might be out on those roadways right now. And as you can see that flashing at the bottom of your screen. That is a look at those confirmed tornadoes that are on the ground in North Mississippi, just south of our viewing area, barely missing us, but it looks like it's going to continue to travel outside of our viewing area. But unfortunately, it looks like it's headed towards Tupelo. So if you do know anyone that is in that area, you definitely want to make sure that you are being very weather aware. They're probably going to issue another flash flood warning for Henry and Weakley County, and they did that, and that's just outside of our viewing area. Once again, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit, which is really close to Oxford, Mississippi here. Definitely some still heavy rainfall moving through that area. Once again, with the high winds and the heavy rain, I wouldn't be surprised. So definitely want to still stay away from those windows at this time, because you don't want to be too close to them in case those trees do start toppling over, especially outside of your home, especially if they are smaller trees. You want to make sure that you're being very weather aware as well, even though we're not looking at any tornado warnings at all. Now, there still is a severe thunderstorm warning for Tippah County, and that is until 10 o'clock tonight. And that is from that same storm that moved through Lafayette County as well as Panola County, and it is headed northeast. There's a few storm tracks that maybe I can click on to kind of give us a little bit more of a what can we anticipate as the scan updates once again. There we go. Now that is a lot on your screen, but this is kind of in the area of where this severe thunderstorm warning, which is still in our viewing area. Jumpertown at 9:54 p.m., Renzi at 10:01 p.m., Corinth at 10:08 p.m., Farmington at 10:09 p.m., Burnsville at 10:11 p.m., Guys at 10:12 p.m., Raymer at 10:13 p.m., Eastview at 10:14 p.m., and Meechee at 10:15 p.m. So that is where the severe thunderstorm warning is located. And this storm is still moving, like I said, 78 miles an hour. That is very, very fast. And that's telling me the winds are probably very, very fast in that area as well. In fact, I'm going to clear some of the stuff off our screen so we can get a little bit of a better view of this storm that is severe thunderstorm warning, but we're thankful that right now we don't have any tornado warnings at all in our viewing area. But it's definitely something that we've been keeping our eye on if we go to our velocity to see exactly how high these winds are. And in fact, I'm going to change my radar too as well, because that will help us out tremendously. There we go. And this is going to give us exactly how high these winds are in this area. Around 59 miles an hour, around 66 miles an hour. So very high winds involved in this severe thunderstorm warning. So even though it is not tornado warned in Tippah County, you still need to make sure that you are being weather aware, especially if you live in Corinth, because the storm is headed north towards you, unfortunately. And as we put another track on it, Jumpertown at 10 p.m., Boonville at 10:01 p.m., Renzi at 10:06 p.m., Corinth 10:13 p.m., Farmington at 10:15 p.m., and Burnsville at 10:16 p.m. And this storm says shear rate, so how much rotation are we seeing this? 80 miles an hour, 100% chance of hail. That is definitely very concerning. So I'm going to keep an eye on this storm, to be honest with you, with our winds being that high. Let's take a look and see what our Barron button is saying. Yeah, there's even a little bit of rotation in this storm, but the good news is that it's traveling northeast. Now, when they redraw these polygons, hopefully they don't clip Tippah County with that possible tornado warning, but it looks like this tornado warned storm is going to continue to travel towards the east, which is great news there for us. So let's take one more reset. We have around 6 more minutes until we do go off the air, and we will be on ABC 24 for our entire newscast. Here's a look at our radar. Once again, what can you anticipate? What's happening outside your door? I'll step off the screen for you. You can see heavy rainfall moving through West Tennessee and North Mississippi right now. North Mississippi, unfortunately, you guys are just kind of taking the brunt of the rainfall and of the storm right now. Corinth, Mississippi, you guys are not quite done yet. There is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for that area. But don't let your guard down just yet. We are almost done. We just have a few more really minutes until we can get to saying we're all in the clear from severe weather. Now, the rainfall will continue. The rainfall has been falling at a high rate over the last few hours with this entire storm. So it's definitely something that we've been keeping our eye on. Trevor, what are you working on over there?
Well, Danielle, I was going to let you know we've been talking about how we're going to end our CW30 newscast as normal here in a few minutes, and then start our newscast on ABC 24 News at 10. Without any warnings, we should be able to do that newscast as normal. So, Danielle, I'll take the rest of it. I'll give you a chance to kind of get your latest graphics put together, your latest forecast, whatever you need to do to get ready for the 10 o'clock news. You go ahead and handle that because things are looking better. In fact, our weather alerts are starting to continue to be tripped off. We only have a tornado watch now for McNary, Alcorn, Tippah, and Lafayette. Everybody else is all clear of the threat of severe weather. So really, Lafayette, you're pretty much clear as well. We're really just watching Alcorn for a final round of some stronger thunderstorms, but everything is starting to move out. So that is some good news. I do think by 10 p.m. we will be in much better shape. Still very heavy rain in Batesville and Oxford. That's not severe, just some good downpours there. Corinth is the area that I'm really going to be watching that has the best potential to produce some severe weather. And that is an area that we're seeing wind gusts up to 50 or 60 miles an hour. Corinth, you're pretty much right in the middle of it now. So within the next little bit, we should be able to clear you out and things will start to be winding down there as well. I do want to talk about, Danielle had mentioned this tornado warning that is down to the south in Prentiss County. Pretty good confirmation of a tornado on the ground near Wheeler, Mississippi. I do think that's going to stay to the south of us. That's likely going to stay well to the south of Corinth. It could clip a little bit of Alcorn County, but really I think it's going to do a number like this and head into Tishomingo County. So again, that area is producing a tornado, but right now it's south of our area. And for now, it looks like it is going to stay that way. So just keeping an eye on Corinth, still watching that. I'm not seeing any alarming signs. Usually if you have a tornado, it's going to happen on that front edge right there. And that is pretty much out of Alcorn County at this point. So that is some good news. I don't expect that we're going to have any more tornadoes in our area tonight. Damaging wind gusts still possible in Corinth for about the next 10 or 15 minutes. Some heavier rain, some thunder and lightning, but by far, things are looking much better. We'll zoom out. We'll give you a wide view. You can see that. Even the rain is coming to an end in Memphis. It's done in eastern Arkansas. Covington, Ripley, Dyersburg, the rain is done for you. We'll see some showers continue for everybody else through maybe 10:30 or 11 tonight, but certainly by then, everything will be winding down. The rest of the night will be dry. But again, as Danielle mentioned, we do have a wind advisory that is in effect until 3 a.m., I believe, and that is because of those wind gusts that are going to continue to be 30 to 40 miles an hour. So it's going to be a breezy night, even as those rain showers do continue to move out of the area. Again, if you're just joining us, we've got about 2 minutes left here on CW30, and we've got about 2 minutes left in our weather coverage. We're going to kind of wrap this in a bow and call it a night because I'm not concerned with anything that I'm seeing. And I know if you're watching in Corinth, you're like, not concerned. It's coming a gully washer right now. And I know it is, but right now I'm not seeing anything that is too indicative of anything incredibly severe in that line of thunderstorms. But definitely a ton of lightning, especially if you're leaving Corinth, if you're headed southbound on 45 toward Tupelo. First of all, I would not do that right now. I'd wait about 30 minutes because we have a possible tornado near Saltillo in northern Lee County, just to the north of Tupelo. That is going to stay south of our area, but still some very, very heavy rain, gusty winds, and a good bit of lightning that is going to continue in Corinth for maybe the next 15 or 20 minutes, and then things will be winding on down. So again, just a big reset. Severe weather threat is coming to an end. We've got some power outages, we've got some gusty winds, and we do have some rain that is continuing, but that rain will be done by 11 p.m. The rest of your weekend is looking great. In fact, Saturday and Sunday, we've got sunshine, highs in the 70s. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. Just got to get those storms out first. And again, that should be winding down here shortly. So we are ending our newscast here on CW30. We are going to continue on ABC 24 sharp at 10 p.m. You can watch us there. That'll be a normal newscast. You get your news of the day. Danielle will have a full weather forecast, and we will have all the updates you need. Again, that's ABC 24 News at 10. For now, for meteorologist Trevor Burchett, meteorologist Danielle Moss, for the entire team behind the scenes, you've been watching Severe Weather